I sing songs.
I don't even know why I try anymore. Even know I don't even know why I try anymore. Even know you can't replace me. I'm awake, it's time to break free. I'm levitating, I don't even know why I try anymore. Even know I don't even know. Anymore.
Survivor Series Board Games live from San Diego. WWE in 2025, folks. No risks, playing it safe, no fun, all profits, middle finger to the fans. 45,000 people at Petco Park in San Diego. We're just given the worst Survivor Series of the Triple H administration. Everything is great, though, right? Sure thing. Sesame Street Levesque. Let me find out Asuka the Grouch and Big Bird are living in your backyard, bro. Or better yet, let me find out if they're on the fucking writing team. If you were disappointed with this show, you have every right to be, man. Every right to be. There were some aspects I liked, most I didn't like. We're gonna talk about it tonight at the venue inside my mother's basement. Man, am I riled up! And when I get there on this Saturday night, I wanna know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard?
You know what? We're not
Monday
even doing
and
the
Friday
intro, man.
night?
We're not even doing that stupid, outdated fucking intro, man. He don't deserve it. He don't deserve it. We're getting it changed. I'm recording something tomorrow. My God, Dustin's gonna get us a new intro, hopefully, within the next couple weeks. We're not even doing it, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. Survivor Series tonight. You know, they got the balls. They got the balls to call this premium. Premium. How premium is it, chat? How premium is it? You know, by the way, I'm not even going to play that intro anymore. After the intro, where you see the dark horse in the venue and space strippers kind of fading out, we're not even doing the intro anymore. I'm getting rid of it. I'm getting rid of it completely. They call these premium. WWE sold this show out on the simple fact that it was War Games. Simple fact that it was War Games mixed with the fact that John Cena was basically 2 weeks away from his retirement. 2 weeks away from his final match. This was the worst Triple H Survivor Series of his administration. This may have been the worst Survivor Series of the decade. And certainly one of the worst Triple H PLEs maybe that he's ever done. Yet he'll go on his own post show that is completely sterile and completely scripted because he won't talk to the media. And he'll glaze numbers and attendance and profit and how the WWE does things so extravagantly better than everybody else. And how that they're the only game in town and there's no show like WWE and they're telling stories like the fucking comic books and the Marvel movies and like they're the DC universe. What happened to the Triple H of NXT Black and Gold? It wasn't only him that ran that. There were a lot of other brains and minds down there that made that the well-oiled machine that it was. The story-driven fucking beast that it was. Where did that go? Where did all of that go? Is Triple H not hungry anymore? Is Triple H just kind of coasting until his inevitable departure? Cashing out his stocks, signing multi-billion-dollar deals with different networks. Got Nick Khan fucking doing all the hard work for him, and he's kind of taking all the recognition for it because he's the face of the fucking company. What happened to that Triple H? You know, the Triple H that took risks. The Triple H that had fun. Most importantly, had fun. The Triple H that was so struck, almost like a fangirl, over the stories that he was telling. And that was the main thing that made that entire brand the brand that it was. The story, the cliffhangers, the importance of everything that was going on, the championships, those premium live events. Bro, I would take any of those takeover shows. They weren't even premium live events at that point. I would take any of those golden NXT Black and Gold era takeovers over anything that we've gotten on the main roster so far. I would label those premium over everything that we've gotten this year on the main roster, which nothing on the main roster this year, including WrestleMania, has been anything close to fucking premium. What happened to the Triple H of literally, chat? What happened to the Triple H of just last year? What happened to the Triple H of literally 2024, last year? Where did he go? I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's one of those unsolved mysteries. It's almost like every major multi-billion-dollar deal that was signed, his fun, his interest, his storytelling completely died 1,000 deaths with every deal that they signed. This is the same thing that I've told you about ever since Vince McMahon was in charge. This is the same exact thing that I said would happen to AEW when Tony Khan signed his fucking $180 million TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery for 4 years. They got their money. They got their recognition. They're safe for the next 4 or 5 years, and they don't need to do anything. The fans will be there. The fans will continue to pay. The fans will fill a stadium like tonight in Petco Park with 45,000 people. The ratings will continue to be what the ratings are. As long as they maintain what they usually get, everybody looks at that as a win-win situation. WWE's now on Netflix. They went from a 1.3, 1.4 on USA Network to now they're globally touting 3 million global viewers on Netflix. That's great. That's fantastic. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. What are you doing to actively draw more fans in? What are you actively doing to make the existing fan base happy? This entire administration, whether you want to blame TKO or not, I don't really give a fuck about TKO. TKO's got their own fucking problems, and you can hang all the negatives about this year on the fucking coat rack of TKO. They didn't do the company any good either, except for the financials, which made all the suits and ties a lot more richer and us a lot more frustrated. I don't know if TKO has some sort of presence or say in what's going on here, but Triple H, it almost feels like he's been abducted by fucking aliens. This is not the Triple H that first signed on to take his father-in-law's spot as head of creative. Something has happened. I don't know what the mentality is. I don't know if he's just gotten dumber in his old age. This show was fucking garbage. Garbage. With a couple of highlights. First of all, you can tell that they're only about money. I mean, if that wasn't apparent before tonight, it was fucking absolutely blaring tonight inside Petco Park. That's all they care about. 45,000 plus people there, and it sounded like 10. Whose great idea was it to have a Survivor Series in an open-air stadium? Open-air stadiums are fucking garbage for these premium live events that WWE has. They did it at WrestleMania, at Lincoln Financial. You guys remember that first night? Mixed with the fact that it was fucking 40 degrees. Open air stadiums suck. For the home viewer watching from the comfort of their own couch, the show feels fucking lifeless. It feels like I'm watching an AEW fucking show from fucking rinky-dink, Nebraska. Bro, if I told you 45,000 plus were sitting at Petco Park tonight, you'd be like, really? What? So whoever books these open-air stadiums, I think we can fucking cut that shit dead. Let's stop that. These open-air stadiums, unless they have a retractable roof, are fucking complete dog shit. Especially for the people watching at home. Secondly, what is with these 4-match PLEs? Granted, WWE had Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul in one match. The Usos, Jay and Jimmy, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre. WWE had loaded their main event up with 10 of their biggest stars in the entire company. And I'll get to what I liked about the men's War Games match and what I didn't like about the men's War Games match. I actually had fun with the men's War Games match. I had no problem with the men's War Games match outside the fucking lame, stupid, ridiculous, let's play it Sesame Street safe ending. What is with these 4 or 5 match PLEs? I got people arguing today that 4-match PLEs are good. What are you talking about? This is the same Triple H that booked TakeOver, 5 matches every single TakeOver, and they went 2.5 hours, and they left you wanting more. You can't give me a 4-match PLE, a 5-match PLE, and have it come off like it's some fucking syndicated Saturday afternoon pro wrestling show. It's match, commercial, match, commercial, match, commercial, match, commercial, match, commercial, and then no story. No story, no intrigue, no cliffhangers, no reason to fucking give a shit when the show is over. It's almost like you feel empty after watching 2 hours of whatever this man produces. If you are in agreement with 4 matches on a PLE, you are the fucking problem. There is no in-between with these fucking companies. One company gives you 4 matches and 3 hours on PLE, and then the other company gives you fucking 13 matches and fucking 7 hours of pay-per-view. What is with these billionaires? Are they fucking retarded? Do they think? Do they appreciate their fan base? All I hear is, oh, we love our fan base. We want to give our fan base more. No, you don't give a fuck about your fan base. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. 4-match PLEs, honestly, is an embarrassment. It's a slap in our face. This is the same guy that booked 5 matches on TakeOver, and every single match left you wanting more. Every single match left you excited for the next match that came. Over 2.5 hours, and even at the 2.5 hour mark, you were still begging for a fucking 6th match. Man, I could go 6 matches on this show. Do you want to know why? Because he gave you story. He gave you a reason to care. He gave you a reason to tune in to the next Wednesday's show. This is not the same Triple H that booked that show or that brand. This is not the same Triple H that booked 2024. It's not. It's an embarrassment. It's an absolute fucking embarrassment. This was the worst pay-per-view. I'm not even calling it premium. There's nothing about this show, nothing about this product this year that's fucking premium. What's premium? The fact that everybody pays fucking a 2-month car payment to go fucking sit there like a fucking idiot and wave your hands in the air, man. Are you fucking kidding me? After all that you've been given this year, you are still willingly giving them your money to fucking wave your hands in the air like you're fucking mentally ill. Really? You got nobody to blame but yourself. Nobody to blame but yourself. This has been the worst fucking year since the days of the Vince McMahon administration coming to an end. Triple H should be fucking ashamed of himself. The writing team should be ashamed of themselves for the show that they gave us tonight. I genuinely don't understand how anybody is fulfilled leaving that venue. Fulfilled with the amount of money you paid to sit there to watch this product live on a Saturday night. And the absolute low efforts, I don't give a shit product that the company continues to churn out. Do you want to know? Here's the truth of the matter, folks. And this may upset some of the suits and ties. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. WWE, this is how they operate. Do you remember what I just said about how they got all their money from their TV deals? They got their money from ESPN. They got their money from Netflix. They got their money from USA Network. They got their money from the Saudis. Tony Khan's got his money from Warner Brothers Discovery for the next 3 years. They got their money. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. As soon as John Cena announced that he was retiring, and he stepped foot into the ring at the Royal Rumble to begin the year, WWE said, you know what? We don't have to do shit. We don't have to do a single fucking thing. We got every single venue sold out with John Cena's name attached to it because this is his final year and the fans are suckers and they're not going to want to miss it and they're going to want to be a part of John Cena's last year as a professional wrestler. They knew that with John Cena making the rounds for every premium live event, that they had an instant sellout with John Cena just being there. Which in turn, they didn't have to do a single fucking thing. They didn't have to lift any more of a finger because John Cena and the allure of John Cena wrestling and John Cena being there sold them out and carried their load, and they didn't have to do a single fucking thing. And they rode the coattails of John Cena all year with dog shit creative. They didn't have to do anything. Cena was there. We'll book around Cena. We'll have Cena wrestle and then book 4 other matches and call it a day. Let me ask you something. What are you going to do when John Cena isn't there come January? What are you going to do in 2026 when John Cena isn't there to sell your PLEs out? Who's the next fucking aging legend that you're going to hitch your wagon to? I'm already hearing rumors that WWE has come up with a retirement tour for Chris Jericho. This is what they're going to do. They're going to hitch their wagon to guys like Chris Jericho now, making a WWE return. They're going to hitch their wagon to Roman Reigns and give him more fucking dates to appear on Monday Night Raw and appear on these PLEs. They would rather hitch their wagon to their top guys with absolutely zero effort involved instead of writing us captivating, engaging, week to week. I can't wait to watch more WWE story. What are they going to do when John Cena retires? They didn't announce a single fucking match up until 4 weeks ago for this show. They already had 35,000 tickets out the door. As soon as they started to announce what the War Games matches would be, people ended up buying last-minute tickets. They sold an extra 10,000 tickets. They sold 10,000 fucking tickets on top of 35 with not even a fucking match announced. Because they knew War Games was happening. You could see what the War Games was going to be, especially for the men. And then John Cena was going to be there. John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio. He's defending the IC title. Oh, man, I want to be a part of that. I can't miss that. I got to be in the building for that. I had people asking me, man, you want to go to Madison Square Garden to go watch John Cena in Madison Square Garden? I said, fuck no. Are you kidding me? I could watch John Cena retire from the comfort of my own home. I'm not giving them a fucking dime. Plus, I wouldn't miss work. What is WWE going to do for me if I go to the show instead of what I could do for myself sitting here in front of you guys, covering the show? Survivor Series was fucking absolutely a disappointment. In every sense of the word. We need to start moving away from the War Games concept. That's the other big talking point tonight. The War Games concept. You know, Triple H, he wants to do things his own way, which is admirable. But he also wants to maintain the essence of his father-in-law in some way, which is why we've seen some of the segments we've seen over the last couple of weeks. We saw John Cena, Dominik Mysterio ushering out a midget to make fun of John Cena. R-Truth's been back to his fucking absolutely unfunny comedy, talking about his balls and Nick Aldis's British balls and all this other nonsense. SmackDown is a fucking travesty in its own right. He wants to keep the essence of his father-in-law alive, even though he's not there. One of the things Vince McMahon did was kill gimmicks. Ladder matches, Hell in a Cell matches, namely. Every October rolls around, Hell in a Cell needs to happen because hell and Hell in a Cell. Hell is synonymous with Halloween. Hey, it goes hand in hand. You know what, Bruce? Let's cover the cage. Fully in red, too, just to give it that hell vibe, pal. Triple H pretended to be your best friend and then stabbed you in the fucking back. It's exactly what he did. Almost like a presidential candidate. Oh, I'm gonna lower food costs as soon as I get into office, pal. Yeah? Why do I go to the supermarket and eggs are more expensive than before you took office? Bullshit. I'm gonna get rid of the red Hell in a Cell, pal. It's great. It's fantastic. The one time you did Hell in a Cell, you knocked it out of the fucking park. Why can't we do that with War Games? I'm gonna bring War Games to the main roster, pal. Yeah, we're 3 years on that War Games promise, Triple H, and you've already destroyed the fucking concept. After 3 years, it is now time to move away from the gimmick. Survivor Series as a PLE, as a pay-per-view is dead. There was a hope. There was a glimmer of light that was shining bright when we got War Games. Everybody's like, oh man, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so great, man. Finally, Survivor Series feels like Survivor Series. That bloodline match with the Brawling Brutes, right? Sami Zayn, the story. Then we got Cody and his bang of baby faces against the Judgment Day, right? Those are some good War Games matches. The more that you do the concept and the same match that we get every single year doesn't do the match justice. It doesn't. What did WWE do differently this year with the War Games matches than any other year? They made one minor tweak to the match this year, aesthetically. No shark cages. Outside that, it was the same fucking match that you got every single year before it. It is at a point where you use it to basically sell tickets. Meanwhile, you're dumbing down the product and dumbing down the match concept for absolutely no reason but because you want to destroy it to sell tickets. All because it's Survivor Series. All because it's a November thing now. Doesn't mean we need to see it. Just like I mentioned them a couple of moments ago, these pro wrestling promoters in these companies, they don't know what in moderation means. It's either all or nothing with these fucking people. Why don't we take the same process, the same steps that we did with Hell in a Cell? We got rid of it on pay-per-view. How about we get rid of it? Let it fucking rest. Let it go into hibernation for a couple of years and bring it back when it absolutely is necessary. Did any of these matches need to be inside of War Games? Did they? In fact, I would have enjoyed both of these matches more if they were actually Survivor Series traditional elimination matches. You can't sell a Survivor Series based off the time-honored tradition of what made Survivor Series special. Especially with the teams that you aligned in that men's match. Did you really need a War Games? Everything that they did tonight could have been done in a traditional Survivor Series elimination match setting. And I still would have been highly sports entertained. Probably even more so. Why did that women's match need to be in a War Games? What did those women do inside that War Games that justified it being inside of War Games? Oh man, IYO SKY, she jumped off the cage again. This time in a trash can with her name written on it in red. Bro, I was about to fucking fall asleep until the bell officially rung to start that match to open the show. None of those women belonged inside of War Games. Everything that was going on there could have played out in a 5-on-5 elimination match. How do you look at that and then say, yeah, Bruce, we did a good job? I saw some people comparing it to last year. Do you really want to compare it to last year, which was easily the worst women's War Games match that they've ever done? Man, you guys are really setting a low bar there. That match was fucking terrible. This year was no better. You couldn't get any worse than last year, but that doesn't make this year's good. This match was terrible. What happened in that match that constitutes war? Oh man, Rhea Ripley brought in a kendo stick wrapped in black tape. There was no blood. There was no physicality. Nia Jax looked like the abominable fucking snowman out there. What is she doing? Who thought this match was good? Then you got Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer. Who thought that this match was worthy of premium? Only one half of this match is premium. Nikki Bella is not premium in 2025. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you think of Nikki Bella. The match was terrible. No heat, a heel turn that never went anywhere, and she lost clean. Thanks for coming. Meanwhile, we left women like Roxanne Perez and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria off the fucking card for Nikki fucking Bella. How anybody looked at this and said, yeah, let's put this on the fucking show. WWE would have done the John Cena tournament a little bit more justice and the Survivor Series a little bit more justice if they actually played this fucking tournament out 2 weeks before they actually started it so that we may get the finals taking place on this show, which I thought was going to be the case. That would leave 2 weeks of build for the challenger and John Cena to build some sort of program together. Now, but what do I know? What do I know? Women's War Games was fucking terrible. Absolutely as uneventful as they come. Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Vaquer. I mean, you'd be lucky to get away with that being a main event match on YouTube or on Hulu or wherever the fuck they're airing that show. Speed. Should have ended in about 3 minutes. Nobody gave a shit. John Cena and Dominik Mysterio. They actually delivered a match worthy of Survivor Series. Had all the bells and whistles, all the smoke and mirrors. Had a great spot, injury spot that was faked out by Dominik Mysterio. Judgment Day was out there. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, they got their shots in on John Cena. Liv Morgan came back and returned to help John Cena lose to Dominik. She helped Dominik Mysterio win the Intercontinental Championship back for a second time. Something that was actually newsworthy. And something that I enjoyed. Then we got the men's War Games. Outside of the previous War Games matches, which honestly nothing really stood out about any one of them, 2 of the 3 War Games before this year, they had one aspect of story. One. Everybody was looking at last year's with Punk and Roman. With Punk aligning himself with Roman Reigns in the bloodline. And that favor, which was born from that sit-down meeting. Well, I'll do this for Paul Heyman. I'm doing this for you, Heyman, not for Roman. But you owe me a favor now. Does anybody remember how that show went off the air? Does anybody remember how that show went off the air? You're all fucking up in arms about how this one ended. Do you remember what happened last year? That show went off the air just as terrible as this year's went off the air. Nothing. And the only thing I remember about the previous year was Punk coming back. Because he was fired from AEW 3 months before. So spare me your bullshit about which War Games match was better. You don't remember anything about any of them. This one actually went longer than most of them. This one went 40 minutes. The only longer one was last year's, 41 minutes. So calm your criticism about the men's War Games match. Sami Zayn and him being the honorary Us. And the Usos and the Bloodline being able to trust him. Which was a great segue leading into the Rumble spot where he betrayed Roman and stabbed Roman in the back. And we got that great... Where is that level of storytelling, bro? That was the only thing I remember about that year's War Games. That was it. Other than that, we didn't really get anything worthy of a War Games. They just basically put a cage around these guys and told an aspect of a story that got you excited about what was to come. Everybody's up in arms. Oh, JD, how could you like that men's War Games match? It was terrible. No, it wasn't terrible. The match itself wasn't terrible. The ending was terrible. Because it goes in line with what Triple H does every single pay-per-view. He plays it safe. There's no payoff. He just ends it and then waits. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I don't want to watch Raw to watch something play out. Give it to me now. You've done nothing on these pay-per-views as far as the payoff. Now we got to wait for weekly television. What are you paying these guys for? Give me something to get me excited about Monday. Let me leave the fucking venue. Let me leave watching the show with more questions than answers and feeling good about what I'm going to be watching on Monday. How do you look at that ending and feel good about what you're watching? Oh man, a guy in a black hoodie helped the Vision win, and he did Seth Rollins moves. That's what we're talking about? That's what we're talking about. An unknown assailant in a black hoodie, masked, doing a super kick and a curb stomp. Could that be Rollins? Bro, a fucking fourth grader could write that fucking angle. And then the guy escapes the cage and we never see or hear about it again. A guy helped the Vision win and then goodbye. I'll see you on Raw. Bro, are you booking a legitimate real-life product or are you fucking having AI write your storylines? What do you think, it's a video game? It honestly felt like a scene out of a WWE 2K25 career mode. What are you fucking kidding me? How do you look at all this in totality and say, yeah, that's a great show? 4 matches. 4 matches. Maybe Triple H can't do his fucking math right. Maybe he failed math in high school. I don't know. Maybe all he's got is money on the mind. He knows how to count his fucking money, though. But you look at totality at Survivor Series tonight, 4 matches, 2 of which were fucking terrible. That's 2 for 4, bro. That's 50%. You failed. You failed. It's a thumbs down show. Yeah, but we delivered Liv Morgan. Oh, but we delivered an all-star game in the fucking Survivor Series men's War Games match. What all-star game? What's on the line? What? Is there something tangible on the line? Is the fate of Monday Night Raw now finished? Is Monday Night Raw as a brand hanging in the balance because Paul Heyman has accumulated all the power? What are the consequences from tonight going into Monday? What are they? There's nothing on the line. There's nothing about the Vision that's immediately feeling like a threat on Monday night. We'll probably get fucking Usos versus Breakker and Bronson Reed again on Monday. The fuck you talking about? This was the worst Survivor Series easily of the last 10 years. This was easily the worst Triple H Survivor Series. And this may be one of the worst PLEs that WWE's done all year. All year. I can't. It's amazing, man. It is amazing. If you look at 2025, WrestleMania was fucking garbage this year. WrestleMania was saved by those two triple threat matches, and that was it. Honestly. WrestleMania was saved by those two triple threat matches. If they didn't have Reigns, Rollins, and Punk to main event night one, and didn't have Bianca, Io, and Rhea to open night two, that WrestleMania would have been one of the worst of all time. In fact, it may be one of the worst of all time. It may be the worst of all time. SummerSlam was fucking awful. Outside of John Cena and Cody Rhodes, which was fantastic in the main event, I don't even really remember what else. Punk and Gunther. That was it. That was it. And the ladder match, the tag team ladder match. Those three the only thing I really took away from that show. And then Survivor Series. Bro, 3 of the big 5 this year. I enjoyed the Rumble. I enjoyed Money in the Bank. Bro, 3 of the big 5 this year were fucking some of the worst PLEs that Triple H has ever put on, bro. How do you look at 2025? How are you going to look back when this year is over in legitimately 30 days? How are you going to look back at 2025 and deem WWE a success creatively? WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, 3 of their biggest IPs ever, were some of the worst shows of his entire administration. How do you look at that and say Triple H is doing a good job? How? Either you are absolutely a WWE shill, or you're just completely fucking blind and stupid. I'm going to say it again, and I'm sure I'll reiterate it again before the end of the year. 2025, not only for WWE, but in pro wrestling altogether, including AEW, the worst year that I've ever covered this shit since the days of the pandemic. We got live crowds. We got more people coming out to these shows than ever before. And the creative at this stage of the game in 2025 is fucking on level with the fucking pandemic era. That's what you're going to hang your hat on. And that shit comes from my fucking soul, man. I watch this shit every fucking week so you guys don't have to. I watch this shit every week and I made a career living out of doing it. Every single Monday, every single Friday, every single Wednesday. This was the worst year ever. No fun, no risks, playing it safe, no creative, nothing. Fuck the fans. That's their motto this year. Both AEW and WWE. Fuck the fans. That's it. It's a fucking shame. It's an embarrassment. We're going to try and navigate the Survivor Series and give you guys the pros and cons, mostly cons here on tonight's show. We got 4,400 people in here on a Saturday night. You guys are fucking great. Thank you guys very much, man. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the other content on the channel. We were live last night for SmackDown, which in itself is a fucking travesty of epic proportions. We were live The John Cena tournament is fucking awful. Just done. As soon as The Miz got in for a second time after already losing, I don't know how you look at that and say, man, this is a great year. We were live for Friday. We were live on Wednesday with the Dynamite post show. That was the post full gear edition of Dynamite. Solid Monster and I were live on Tuesday with Tuesday Night Titans episode 122. I'm sure it's going to be a spirited discussion on Tuesday this coming week. And Monday we were live. Go check all those streams out. We're going to close out the month strong here. We got 4,400 people in here. Thank you guys very much. Hit that thumbs up. We need another 100 likes for 1,000. Can we do it? If you guys are in the chat, please hit that thumbs up. You want to support what I do? Super chats is the best way to do that. Leave a super chat. Never an obligation. Only if you want to. It's the best way to support. Any questions, comments, concerns, opinions, you sound off to me. We'll hang out. I'll read them all at the end of the show. And please, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Survivor Series tonight. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you guys need to do is pay the $5. Shipping and handling. I got to shout him out because he already came in hot. We got a $100 super chat from my guy Cam G. Thank you, brother. I like the men's war games. I don't know who the Ninja Gaiden character was in all black, but it should be interesting. Also, I wanted to know what your favorite Alter Bridge song is. Mine is The Uninvited. Much love, JD. My favorite Alter Bridge song is Blackbird. Probably the best song, probably the best rock song ever written, in my honest opinion. Now, if you guys want a top 3 Alter Bridge, Blackbird, The Last Hero, and Fortress. Alter Bridge works best. Tremonti and Miles work best when they usually pen a 7-8 minute long epic. And apparently, the last song on the upcoming album in January is close to 10 minutes. And it's usually the last song on the album. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Cam G, brother, thank you for being here, and thank you for your unbelievable generosity here on the SmackDown post. Love you, brother. Thank you very much, and hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. Let's get into this. War Pigs by Black Sabbath. Even they play that out. Every single year, it's War Pigs by Black Sabbath. There's no other song. There's no other song that encapsulates war. It's got to be War Pigs every fucking year by Black Sabbath. They have even ruined me liking that fucking song. Go figure. Let's beat it over the fucking head with a baseball bat until it's no longer interesting. But this year, they gave you a War Pigs version played by Judas Priest. And Rob Halford from Judas Priest was singing alongside Ozzy on this charity track, which honestly is a great fucking rendition. Rob Halford is in his fucking 80s and he's singing like he's fucking 40. Guy's an absolute miracle. A wonder is Rob Halford. So if you guys have not heard that version of War Pigs by Judas Priest and Black Sabbath, Judas Priest is actually playing the song. So it's Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest and the rest of Judas Priest and Rob Halford singing alongside Ozzy. The open stadium looked great. The aesthetics of the show looked great. The colors, the ambiance, the whole, they did a couple of aerial shots. It looked spectacular. But I will say these open air shows, I'm not a fan of these open air shows. MetLife Stadium, this Petco Park rendition of Survivor Series, Lincoln Financial, fucking Allegiant Stadium for WrestleMania. That has a dome on it, though, so they could open that and close it when they wish. These open-air stadiums do the product, the show, no good. Because instead of bottling in 45,000 people, the sound escapes. So no matter how loud that audience is, when we watch it at home, it's never going to appear or sound like 45,000 people. The air is going to go up, and it's going to disappear into the fucking San Diego night sky. I seriously wish WWE would stop doing these fucking shows unless it's a retractable roof show. They only do it because they know that they could fit 45,000, and the only thing that they give a fuck about is filling the 45,000 and making that money. Because they, out of everything else on this show, bragged about this being the highest grossing Survivor Series in 39 fucking years. I didn't watch much of the pre-show. There was a Roman Reigns interview, which was pre-taped. There was a CM Punk interview with Kathy Kelly. Jackie Rudman interviewed Roman Reigns for the Roman Reigns interview. Dominik Mysterio was on the pre-show. And his father was on the pre-show. Then they ran down a top 10 Survivor Series moment list. This I caught because I had the show on right before the actual live feed for the actual Survivor Series started. But the last thing that they went over was a top 10 Survivor Series moments list. I want to quickly run through this. Number 10 was the end of the alliance. Number 9, Rhea Ripley getting revenge on Liv Morgan. That was in the Women's War Games match. Number 8, Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. I actually enjoyed the Brock Lesnar versus Bryan Danielson match a little bit more, but that's just me. The match with Styles was great. Number 7, debuts over the years. The Undertaker, The Rock, Kurt Angle, The Shield. They did not show Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose, though. Well, now Jon Moxley now in AEW, but Dean Ambrose in WWE. Randy Orton, he returned to 2023. He comes in at number 6. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, title versus title. The Mega Powers unite. They had to get at least something old school in there. That came in at number 4. IYO SKY diving off the top of the cage with her trash can. The first time she did it. Number 3. John Cena and The Rock team up against R-Truth and The Miz. Out of 39 Survivor Series, that comes in at number 2. And number 1, CM Punk returns in 2023. Probably, that is a very subjective number 1, but I mean, if you told me that was your number 1, I would probably not argue. That was a fucking incredible moment. Where's the Bob Backlund Bret Hart submission match with Owen Hart throwing in the towel from 1994? That was a great fucking Survivor Series moment, bro. Another honorable mention. This is just a JD list. An honorable mention, The Undertaker getting the hot tag from Yokozuna at the 1993 Survivor Series and him doing his signature offense against Yokozuna to a point where they both got counted out, which left Lex Luger alone with Ludwig Borga in the All-Americans versus the Foreign Fanatics match. Man, that's going back in the time machine, man. You youngsters don't know anything about that one. Dolph Ziggler. Where was Dolph Ziggler on this list? This list is a fucking sham, just like this show was. Sting's debut with the company. Fuck out of here. Diesel versus Bret the Hitman Hart at the 1995 Survivor Series. This list sucks. How about that? This list fucking sucks. Fuck out of here. Survivor Series started with the Women's War Games. We got the typical superstar arrivals before the War Games. We got Team Asuka, Team Rhea showing up at the venue. Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vaquer, and Dominik Mysterio. The Women's War Games match starts the show. We got Rhea Ripley, IYO SKY, AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair against Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, and Lash Legend. No shark cages. No shark cages for this rendition of Survivor Series in 2025. Don't know why they opted to omit them this year, but I do have some feeling that it had to do with a couple of factors. Number 1, the stage setup. They didn't want to mess with the stage setup And they figured the shark cages would look a little ridiculous with the way the aisleway was positioned because it was in a baseball stadium, and they came out of the dugout, and then they had that long-winded aisleway that was curved that led to the ring. So they didn't want to mess up the whole aesthetic of how they set the stage and ramp for Survivor Series. Number 2, maybe they took a page out of AEW's book. AEW, they do the blood and guts match every single year, which is a problem in itself every single year. But Tony Khan got it right this year with people coming out with a buzzer. And I think he's kind of done that throughout all the iterations of his version of War Games. I like the fact that people come out and you don't know who's coming out. And it's almost like a mini Rumble, the countdown. You know, the first 2 guys start, and then it's 5 minutes and then 3 minutes. So everybody that starts the match is in there for 5 minutes, and then every 3 minutes after that, we have someone coming out, and you don't know who it is. So I do like the fact that it is a little unpredictable. It's like a mini Rumble, and it's just you don't know who's coming out. It's a crapshoot. And they just come out from the back. They don't have a referee standing out there unlocking the shark cage, and here you go. It's just lame. Aesthetically, it looks fucking stupid. And the only reason why they did it is because they needed to sell their Survivor Series War Games fucking toy sets from Mattel, and they needed to include the shark cage. That's all it was. Third aspect of why I think that they kind of omitted them this year, do you really expect the size of the individuals on the heel team for the men to be in one War Games cage? A shark cage? Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed would fill out that fucking shark cage just by themselves. You had to fit 4 guys in there. Can you imagine Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, and Drew McIntyre all in that fucking shark cage? Logan Paul. I mean, that'd be like taking the fucking 5 train from the Bronx from 149th Street at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. You don't want that. Who the fuck wants to be there? You don't want to be in that. Give me a break. So aesthetically, without the shark cages, makes for a better presentation. I very much like the way that WWE did this. This should be the way going forward for all War Games to come in the future. Charlotte wore this colorful gear. Apparently, there was a 7-year-old fan that was battling some form of brain cancer that was sitting in the front row, and she was wearing a ring outfit and color scheme on her attire that was signifying support for this child, which was great. It actually looked very good. I did enjoy the color scheme of Charlotte's ring gear tonight. Charlotte and Asuka started. Now, this was the advantage match on Friday Night SmackDown. If you guys missed SmackDown, which if you did, I don't blame you. And according to some of the numbers that SmackDown's been doing lately, a lot of people aren't watching SmackDown, and the show sucks. This was actually the advantage match, and Charlotte got the win on Friday Night SmackDown. And in a weird turn of events, the babyfaces actually had the War Games advantage over the heels. And that's a problem. This is what happens when you do the War Games match every single year. It looks a little weird that the babyfaces have the advantage over the heels, but this is the product of you doing the match every single year because most of the time, they usually give it to the heels who get the advantage, and throughout the match until it officially starts, the heels have a 2-on-1 advantage. Maybe if you don't do it, we don't have to go and switch up to the babyfaces getting the advantage over the heels. Normally, that's a heel thing to do. They wrestled for 5 minutes. Nothing spectacular comes out of this 5 minutes at all. They had a very good match on Friday Night SmackDown, though. It was just basically a continuation of that. So out comes IYO SKY. She comes in for the babyfaces. She joins Charlotte. IYO entered with a trash can lid with her name written on it in red, bold lettering. Asuka avoided a trash can shot, but IYO hit a drop kick anyway. IYO SKY tried a double jump springboard move off the 2 ropes, so she was basically trying to do some acrobatics from one ring to the next and then do a springboard move, but she tripped when she entered the second ring, and she tried to dive, slipped off the top rope, and honestly, she made a very good recovery off of what she tried to do. She tried to do a little bit too much early on. She lost her footing. She tried to springboard into a big aerial maneuver, and she botched. But it wasn't that bad if you go back and watch. She actually recovered some of it, and she made the most of what she could. IYO did her thing after she botched, and nobody really even gave a shit that she botched the maneuver. So she takes the trash can lid and she starts hitting Asuka with it. So she followed up, and the fans didn't even realize that she had messed up the move. Becky Lynch comes out next. She comes out with a kendo stick. You know, one of the typical War Games tropes is that everybody's going to come out with their own branded weapon. Everybody in the AEW match came out with their own branded weapon. It's lame. The cage is the fucking weapon. Use it to your advantage. You got a double ring steel cage. If you can't get creative in that ring with the steel cage around you, then maybe you shouldn't be in the fucking War Games match. How about that? Everybody's got to come out with their own branded fucking weapon. And the ladies came into this match with virtually no story outside of Rhea, IYO, and the Kabuki Warriors. So, I mean, the weapons were only used as a way to give off the impression that there was tension between these two teams, and realistically, there was none. Basically what it boils down to. Becky Lynch comes in with a kendo stick. She immediately attacked IYO. Charlotte got in Becky's face. No love lost there between those two. Lynch tried to play friendly, but they wound up fighting anyway. Alexa comes in next. She gives the babyface the 3-on-2 advantage. She worked as a team with Charlotte because they are a tag team for now. And they worked on Becky Lynch and Asuka. The babyfaces were in control. Kairi Sane comes out next to even the odds, and she comes out with a green metal chain. That was her weapon of choice. Creative. So Kairi's in there. She beats up Charlotte and Bliss all by herself with this chain. IYO SKY was busy with Asuka. Kairi saved Asuka from IYO by hitting IYO in the midsection with the trash can lid as she jumped off the top rope. So Michael Cole said that IYO was almost decapitated by this trash can lid spot, but Kairi didn't hit her anywhere in the head region. He said that Kairi almost decapitated IYO SKY. Now, for someone to be decapitated, that means that it would have to be hit in the head. Kairi hit IYO in the ribs. She could have broken a rib with the sound of this shot, which sounded great, but nowhere did it hit in the region in which one would be decapitated. I don't know. So that was a great spot. Out comes AJ Lee giving the advantage back to the babyfaces. She comes out with no weapon. Why did everybody come out with a weapon, but AJ Lee comes out with no weapons? I'm assuming her and her husband had a little chat before to make the match as old school as they could. So AJ Lee came out with no weapon, which was great. So Becky sees AJ run to the ring, and Becky closes the cage and is forcefully keeping the door closed, not allowing AJ into the ring. So AJ does the next best thing, and she starts climbing the cage to enter into the cage from above. Crowd chanted for her. She's up top, and she wipes out Asuka and Sane with a flying crossbody off the top rope. So AJ tossed Becky Lynch around the ring and into the cage. She also fought off Kairi Sane until facing off with Asuka. They circled each other, and this is a match I definitely like to see at some point. So Becky Lynch attacked AJ before we could get any standoff with Asuka. The babyfaces are in control. Nia Jax comes out to even the odds. Do you guys remember last year when Nia Jax entered this match first and lasted 30 minutes? So thankfully, someone from the WWE staff recognized the mistake, the horrendous mistake from last year, and they did not make that same mistake again this year. So Nia Jax came out next to last for her team. She was only in there for a good maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe. So she's out, and she comes out. She's wearing this. Bro, I don't know what she was wearing. I don't know what she was wearing. She looked like a mix of the Abominable Snowman mixed with some fruity fucking summery drink from fucking Jamba Juice. I don't know what she looked like, bro. What exactly was she wearing, and who came up with that color scheme? There had to be a reason why she came out with that kind of color scheme, bro. It was not flattering at all. Just like Charlotte was on SmackDown. I don't know what the fuck she was doing on Friday night, bro. She was wearing an outfit like 2 sizes too small for her body. Who asked for that? Someone in the chat, SB says she looked like Buzz Lightyear. Is there a new Toy Story movie coming out? Maybe she took inspiration from Buzz Lightyear. I don't fucking know. To infinity and beyond. Beyond what? Beyond awful. So Nia Jax is in there. And she entered to even the odds. She starts throwing her girth around the ring and takes out everybody using her size. She beat up Charlotte and Bliss all by herself. She fended off IYO and AJ Lee. Sky was making her way to the top of the cage, but Nia Jax grabbed her and hit a powerbomb on IYO. The heels stomped the babyfaces until Rhea Ripley comes in. And she's got this mask on. She looks like the Terrorizer. What is that? What is that show? Do I got it right, chat? She looked like that clown from the Terrorizer film or the sitcom, whatever it is. What show was she imitating here? She looked great. Whatever it was, she looked great. Terrifier. She looked great. Art the Clown. She looked really good. I like that Rhea kind of makes a gimmick of her masks, being that it's almost like clockwork that she breaks her nose before these war games. So she looked great. She looked very good. Very scary. Played the part very well. What I didn't like here, though, is, and this is just me being realistic. And maybe some of you guys can sympathize with me because this is how my brain works. I don't know any other way. Fucking sue me, okay? Everybody is in the ring. Her team is in the ring, and they're at a disadvantage because Nia Jax threw her overwhelming size around in the ring, and she lambasted all the baby faces in the ring, right? So Rhea Ripley comes out. She's got a trash can, a proper trash can with IYO SKY's name written on it. She comes out with a bag of kendo sticks like she's fucking Santa Claus. Her team is at a disadvantage and losing the match. Yet her music goes off and she does her whole entrance. She does the whole stomp and she's fucking flipping her hair back and she's looking into the camera. I'm like, hello? Your team's getting beat up in the fucking ring, yet you're doing the stomp and you're doing the hair and you're looking into the camera. Bro, really? Does nobody look at that and find that to be fucking ridiculous? Honestly. I find it to be ridiculous. So she's out there. She got fireworks, the whole nine. So Rhea Ripley gets in there. She's beating up the heels all by herself. She helps IYO to her feet. Rhea Ripley placed Kairi in a standing clover leaf. IYO places a trash can over Kairi's body. And while Ripley had her in the, whatever she calls it, the prism lock, the reverse clover leaf, IYO ran the ropes repeatedly and hit a running basement dropkick into the trash can in which Kairi Sane was in the trash can. Nia Jax knocked down Rhea Ripley and IYO SKY. Bliss took down Nia Jax with a very sloppy-looking tilt-a-whirl DDT. And then Lash Legend comes out, and she was the last one to enter this match, and she evens the odds for her heel team. So she comes on out. She got no reaction because nobody knows who the fuck she is. The match officially begins at 33 minutes. Lash Legend gets into the ring, and she beats up Charlotte and Alexa Bliss all by herself. Ripley faced off with Lash, and they start exchanging strikes. Lash eventually got the better of this exchange, hitting a powerbomb and a very good-looking jumping big boot for a 2 count. Ripley tried for a riptide, but Nia Jax stopped all of that from happening. Lynch gave AJ Lee a manhandle slam, but IYO SKY broke up the cover by taking her out with a moonsault. Lash and Jax then press slammed Sky and launched her into her teammates. Kairi gave Sky an Asuka-assisted elbow. They call this now the Kabuki Special, which is basically the insane elbow off the top rope with Asuka holding her in some reverse DDT position. But the thing is, Kairi jumped off with the insane elbow with the green steel chain wrapped around her arm. Looked great. They did this nice aerial shot. It looked great. So Ripley broke up the cover off of this Kabuki Special. Asuka tried misting Rhea Ripley. Charlotte, she saved Rhea from the mist, who apparently, if you guys remember, Charlotte said, I can't do this, and she stepped off the babyface team for about a week, only to then return 3 days later at Madison Square Garden and rejoin the team. So they tried to play up that they have some sort of tension from past issues. So Charlotte saved Rhea Ripley. The elitists will find this to be the story of the match. It was fucking terrible. I don't give a shit what story you think there is. There is none. There is none. They're on opposite shows. There is no story. So Rhea Ripley saved Charlotte saved Rhea Ripley from the mist. And apparently Asuka misted Lash Legend in the face by accident. So Lash got the mist. She got taken out of the match after this, and we never seen her again. So at this point, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte gave Nia Jax a double vertical suplex, and they still barely got her up. Bliss followed with a twisted bliss. She did not go for the cover because I'm assuming this wasn't the planned finish. They had another planned finish in mind. I don't know why you wouldn't go for the cover there if you just hit somebody laying on the mat with your finishing move. Fuck do I know, though. IYO went up top of the cage and wanted the trash can. AJ Lee tried to hand it to her, but she was too short. So Rhea Ripley hoisted AJ Lee up on her shoulders, and IYO was able to grab it from AJ Lee at that point. She placed the trash can over her body, and instead of hitting a dive or a moonsault, she hit a senton this year. So she went about it in a different way, and honestly, the white trash can with her name written on it and the fact that she flipped forward into a senton and the sound that it made, this was one of the better IYO spots in a War Games cage. I thought this was great and easily the spotlight of the entire match. Nothing else that happened here even came close. Becky Lynch was the only heel who avoided the move, and camera kind of showed her up close, and she was terrified now because the rest of her team got taken out like a bunch of bowling pins. And now she was all alone against the babyfaces. Charlotte brought Lynch down from the cage. Bliss punched her. Rhea Ripley hit a riptide. AJ Lee applied the Black Widow submission. And Becky Lynch once again tapped out to AJ Lee. This match went 40 minutes. The official match started at 33 minutes. So the official match, if you want to kind of be a prick about it, was 7 minutes. But the match in total lasted 40 minutes. I look at this in totality. The match was 40 minutes. You got fucking people out there, well, the match only lasted 5 minutes. Did you watch a 5-minute match or did you watch fucking 10 women wrestling for 40 minutes? Which is it? Cut the shit. It's not even the problem. It's not even the problem. What was the positive here, chat? What was the positive here? I see a lot of people mentioning Lash Legend. JD, you gotta give Lash Legend her flowers, JD. Do you know who you're watching? I'm not giving anybody any fucking flowers yet. Do you want to know why? She's unknown. Oh my God, we got Lash Legend on the main roster, man. Let me immediately glaze the new woman in town because she's the newbie on the roster, and that's what we're supposed to do, JD. No. What did she do? She delivered an elbow. She delivered a power bomb. She delivered a pump kick and a couple of punches to Rhea Ripley. And she got misted. Golf clap. There you go. Did she look good? That's a subjective term. Did she look like she belonged? That's a better way to look at it. Did she look out of place? No, she didn't. She did not look out of place. Did she belong in the match? Of course she didn't belong in the match. Why would she belong in this match? What exactly are the tensions between Lash Legend and Charlotte and Alexa? There is none. They randomly paired Lash Legend with Nia Jax because Nia Jax is basically the female version of The Miz in the women's division. She's the gatekeeper of the division. They're pairing Lash Legend with Nia Jax simply to get heat because Nia gets decent heat as a heel. If Nia Jax wasn't paired with Lash Legend, then Lash Legend would be on her own. And who the fuck is Lash Legend? Nobody knows who Lash Legend is. Is there potential there? Yeah. Yeah, there is. I'm not clamoring to see a fucking 15-minute Lash Legend match. Not yet. I will say, though, she's a little bit more put together than a Jade Cargill. Lash Legend is a better Jade than Jade is a Jade. How about that? Is that a good compliment, chat? Can you get off my back with that compliment? Can you take that as a peace offering? Yes? Okay, good. Good. This match was terrible. What exactly gave you the feeling of war here? Did we see blood? No. We didn't see blood. Should there have been blood? Yeah. Yeah, there should have been. Just a little bit. Not asking for fucking sky blue bleeding fucking rivers of blood out there, but yeah, we should have seen a little bit of blood. Yeah. Did we see the obligatory weapons being brought into the spot? Yeah. Yeah, we did. We got kendo sticks. We got chains. We got the typical fucking garbage that you usually see. Everybody comes out with a wet trash can. We saw the obligatory EO War Game spot because they are fucking so void of creativity. You know, all these women, most of the women that were in this match have basically been in every War Games match. That's what they sell you on. All of these women basically had multiple appearances in every single War Games match up until this point. I don't think there'll be a War Games match without a Rhea or an EO in it, or a Charlotte, or a Becky, a Nia. It's like the fact that we've seen the same people in every single War Games match. You find that to be fun? You find that to be something that should continue on year after year after year? I don't think so. I find that to be fucking lame, honestly. This match absolutely had no business being in a War Games. None. There was absolutely zero tension between anybody here. But the elitists and the fucking diehards on social media, they will argue till their last breath that this deserved the War Games because the women need one because the men got one and you can't not do it. Yeah, you can not do it. I hope to God they don't redo it. Again. Everybody's like, well, JD, this was better than last year's Women's War Games. Bro, if you're comparing it to last year, man, you are really grabbing at fucking invisible straws at that point. You're really grabbing at the fucking shortest straw. You can't even compare the two. Last year's was the worst War Games women's match ever. Ever. A complete and utter shit show. So you're comparing this year to last year's. Bro, that bar is set so incredibly low that that's not really a good comparison. That doesn't mean that it was a good match. You comparing it to last year. There was no blood. There was no tension. Oh, but JD, there was tension, man. No, there was no tension. AJ Lee's been off TV since WrestlePalooza back at the beginning of September. They did absolutely nothing to build up some tension, a story, a reason between AJ and Becky. Do you know when they did that? At Madison Square Garden 2 weeks ago when Becky Lynch lost the Intercontinental title to Maxine Dupree due to AJ Lee's interference. If you think 2 weeks and someone losing their championship is enough to house this feud, this non-existent feud that took a fucking hiatus for 2 months, to house this thing inside of War Games. Oh, man. Becky Lynch lost her IC title thanks to AJ Lee. Let's put him in War Games. Do you know how fucking ridiculous that sounds, bro? Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Yes, let's send them to the fucking electric chair. Bro, that is as dog shit of a reason as you can possibly come up with. Becky and AJ have no reason being in the War Games cage. None. I don't give a fuck what their history is. Their history is WrestlePalooza. Then AJ took a fucking vacation for 2 months, only to come back at Madison Square Garden because it's Madison Square Garden, and they needed names. Lash Legend and Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I still don't understand how you omit a Roxanne Perez, a Raquel Rodriguez, a Bayley, and a Lyra Valkyria from this. They've been feuding for many more weeks compared to the 4 women that were in this match. Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. So what was the reason why these 4 women were in the War Games cage? Ah, that's right. Nia Jax and Lash Legend cost Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss their prestigious women's tag team championships. Let's throw them in a cage. So the same reason that Becky lost her IC title because of AJ Lee's interference. Let's throw them in War Games. The only tension in this women's War Games is Rhea, IYO, Asuka, and Kairi, and that is it. That is it. I don't know why we needed a women's War Games and couldn't deliver a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Eliminations in a traditional Survivor Series match, not like there was any story coming into it with these 5 women inside the War Games. Do you realize that a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, the way that it is booked, the way that it is produced, the way that the eliminations occur, how they occur, when they occur, who's left and who's not, do you realize that there is more story to come out of a traditional Survivor Series match in the way that it is booked than if you threw all these women inside a women's War Games cage? So WWE opted for the most safest, the most simplest, the most low-key, low-effort, boring War Games just to simply get the fucking women inside a cage so that they could be equal to the men and call it a day. You didn't need this match to justify selling tickets. You didn't need this match at all. Nothing about this match signified a War Games. The story didn't signify a War Games. The tensions didn't signify a War Games. The names inside this thing outside of the 4 that I mentioned didn't signify a War Games. So why did we have it? They didn't use the cage in a creative way. They didn't bleed. Everybody looked like they were working in quicksand. There was no sense of urgency. Why did we have this match? This was the second worst women's War Games match in the history of the fucking company, and yet they will justify this doing this shit again next year. I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't know how you sit there and say this was a good effort. I don't know how you sit there and say this was fine. I had one guy tell me on social media, this was fine, JD. That's the problem. Fine. You know what I look at? You know what I hear when I think fine? It's fine. No, it's got to be great. It's got to be fantastic. It's got to be out of this world. Excellent. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It's like you go to the fucking diner and you get a fucking double cheeseburger. How was it? They charge you fucking $20 plus tax with the fucking fries included. Yeah, it was fine. Bro, you better get a fucking gourmet burger cooked like fucking Emeril Lagasse at that fucking price point for a fucking diner burger? Give me a fucking... Yeah, it was fine. It's the fucking problem with these fucking fans nowadays, man. It's fine. I had no problem with it. It was fine. Triple H looks at you people, and then he continues to fucking low effort his way into a fucking War Games. Continue saying it's fine. I'm over being just fine, man. We need better. We need excellent. We need great. We need fantastic. Fine ain't gonna cut it. Fuck out of here. Babyfaces win. This was the right move. This was the right move. I figured the heels would win the men's match, so you can't have both heel teams winning. The babyfaces winning here was the right move. Obviously, we're going to continue AJ Lee and Becky Lynch at some point because Becky is going to look for her revenge on AJ for costing her the Intercontinental Championship. WWE, they got to get their celebrity friends on camera because why the fuck not? Lil Yachty was in the front row wearing an ECW hat. I wonder who gave him that. Does he even know what the fucking ECW is? Adriel Favela, Andy Ruiz, and Jeremiah Estrada, who pitches for the San Diego Padres, were all shown on camera. John Cena. He defended the Intercontinental Championship against Dominik Mysterio, who came out there with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. A lot was being made about this match simply because of who is going to win the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. As we see the Final Four, which, again, goes to show you that Triple H has lost his fucking mind. The Final Four includes Solo Sikoa, Gunther, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Just look at the way he's booked this tournament. If you have any hope for 2026, look at this tournament. That should give you all the answers that you need. No, there is no hope for next year. With who we know is winning the tournament, having John Cena walk into Washington, D.C. with the Intercontinental Championship was going to be not a good creative move. So more than likely, he was going to lose the title here. But the question is, how? I think everybody figured Dominik was going to get the title back, but it was more of how he was going to get the title back. Were we going to see Judgment Day interfere? Were we going to see Rey Mysterio interfere? Were we going to see Los Grande Americanos interfere? Outside of the men's War Games match, this was the best thing on the show. This was an overbooked mess. And I mean that in the best way possible. This was overbooked like a motherfucker. But it needed to be booked like it was tonight. It needed to be an overbooked mess. Because there was no other way about it. How was Dominik going to win the Intercontinental title for a second time? Dominik came out with Raquel and Roxanne. John Cena, there was a long pause before Cena's music hit. Had Dominik waiting in the ring for at least 90 seconds. Cena entered and the fans embraced Cena. He went and shook everybody's hand, gave everybody high fives. He had this long, lengthy chat with Stu, the cameraman. And he sprinted to the ring. There were chants of thank you, Cena, thank you, Cena. Alicia Taylor introduced Cena as the greatest of all time. Chad Patton was the official referee here. And the bell rings. So Dominik, he distracted the referee while Perez tripped Cena as he came off the ropes. So right away, we got early hijinks from Dominik Mysterio, cheating by Dominik Mysterio. Dominik booted Cena in the corner before pulling the referee aside again, and Rodriguez jumped on the ring apron and punched Cena in the face. So both ladies are getting cheap shots on John Cena. So at this time, I'm like, I see where this is going. We're going to get more of the same from Dominik. Dominik hit 3 amigos. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. It wasn't 14 amigos like Mercedes did at Full Gear on Chris Statlander, but 3 amigos nonetheless. Cena, he recovers. Dominik, he runs to the outside. Cena went after him. Dominik hid behind Rodriguez and Perez because Cena's never going to hit a woman. Dominik used this distraction to jump Cena and take over again. So they fight near the announce table. Dominik throws John Cena's face into the announce table. He throws John Cena into the side of the ring. Dominik, he jumps off the barricade. Now, they're by the side of the ring, adjacent to the commentary table. And they're on the side of the ring. Dominik jumps on the barricade. And he does the literal same spot that Penta did on Solo on Monday, which led to Penta legitimately injuring himself and eliminating himself from the John Cena tournament. They awarded Solo Sikoa the match by forfeit because Penta couldn't continue. There was a botch with Penta jumping off the barricade where he tried to do a Hurricane Rana off the barricade to Solo Sikoa, and he landed on his shoulder. Supposedly, he wanted to pop his shoulder back into place so that he could finish the match, but the referees and the agents and the officials told him, no, you can't do that here. He got legitimately hurt. How long he's going to be out, I don't know. Dominik legitimately did the same spot here. And they showed the replay, and it looked bad. He came down on his shoulder. He didn't even get a Hurricane Rana. It almost looked like they botched the fucking move, and he tried to Hurricane Rana a little too late, and Cena ended up dropping Dominik in a power bomb of sorts on the back of his head and on his shoulder in a very awkward angle. Dominik is writhing in pain on the outside. He's holding his shoulder. The referee goes out there quickly. He asks him, he's asking Dominik, how do you feel? How do you feel, Dominik? You see him visibly shake his head no. Referee doesn't know what to do at this point. He gets back in the ring. He tells Cena what's going on. He goes back out. And as soon as the referee goes back out, I'm like, they got me here, bro. This is terrible. I was literally ready to tweet, maybe we should stop doing the fucking barricade Hurricane Rana spot. It almost reminded me of Seth Rollins doing the buckle bomb on the outside. Every time he did the buckle bomb into the apron, someone would get fucking hurt. And the next thing you know, they're out for 8 months. I don't get it. So the referee, Chad Patton, goes back outside for a second time to go check on Dominik. While this is happening, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez are in the ring. So they do a Tahana Bomb and a Pop Rocks individually on John Cena. So they could put it on their resume that in the final year of John Cena as an active in-ring performer, they were able to hit their finishing moves on him. That says a lot about what the company thinks of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. All of a sudden, Dominik gets right back up. He gets into the ring. He hits Cena with a 619, goes up top with a frog splash. The referee refused to count because Dominik trolled the referee by playing possum. He refused to count because he realized what Dominik tried to do. They got me, bro. They sold me. They sold me on it. I thought the match was over. I thought we were getting a legitimate injury. Then I saw the ladies get involved, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is not them just biding time out here. And then all of a sudden, Dominik gets back in. He trolled everybody. Patton eventually tossed Rodriguez and Perez out from ringside, so they are sent to the back. Cena hits Dominik with his shoulder tackles, the side suplex, and the 5-knuckle shuffle. He avoided an AA, but Cena applied the STFU until Dominik got to the ropes to break the hold. Dominik then unzipped his boot while the referee backed Cena away. Cena saw exactly what was going on, and like a dummy, he grabbed at Dominik's unzipped boot and grabbed the boot anyway and pulled the boot off of Dominik. So Dominik was able to drop him onto the middle rope, hit a 619, go for a frog splash. This time the referee had to count, and the referee counts, and he only gets a 2 count. Crowd is chanting, "This is awesome, this is awesome." Cena went for shoulder tackles again. Dominik ducked. Cena knocked down Patton inadvertently. Cena applied another STFU, but this time Finn Balor and JD McDonough ran out to attack Cena. McDonough went for a moonsault. Cena got the knees up, blocked that. He then dodged Balor's coup de grace. Cena then hoisted both guys on his shoulders and hit a double attitude adjustment. Dominik grabbed the IC title and tried using it as a weapon, but Cena ducked it and hit another AA. Cena called for the referee. And all of a sudden, Liv Morgan's music hit, and Liv Morgan runs out. Instead of the referee running out that Cena requested, Liv Morgan ran out. Liv Morgan acted happy to see Dom. He was almost starstruck to see his former boo in the middle of the ring. And she looked great. Happy that she's back. She slapped Dom in the face. And I'm like, uh-oh. What is going on here? This was another swerve. Liv Morgan hugged Cena. And all of a sudden, Liv Morgan hugging Cena, smiling while she's doing it. Camera focused on Liv Morgan. I swear to God, man, it almost looked like she had reptilian eyes. I don't want to sound like a fucking conspiracy weirdo out here, bro. But she had, like, these weird eyes. It almost looked like she shapeshifted in the middle of the ring. I don't know what the hell happened there. Maybe it was my imagination. All of a sudden, they did a throwback. They did a callback to Cena hugging Cody at the Elimination Chamber. So they zoomed in on Liv Morgan's face. As soon as she hugged Cena, she started smiling. But when they zoomed in on her, she got all mad and she got all evil looking. She released the hug and kicked Cena in the penis. Kicked him below the belt. All of a sudden, Dominik hit a 619. Well, Morgan hit Cena with the belt first. Then Dominik hit a 619 and a frog splash. And Dominik wins the Intercontinental Championship with the help of Liv Morgan for a second time. Fireworks went off. Dominik held up Morgan in one arm, held the IC title in the other. This was a great visual. She held the IC title eventually, and then he held the AAA Mega Championship, which he's still the champion down there. This was a great visual. Cena soaked in the crowd reaction. They played his theme music one last time after everybody kind of exited. Cena looked at the camera, saluted, and said, "Thank you all so much." That's all. He'll see us December 13th. I would not go out there and claim this was a classic Intercontinental Championship match by any stretch of the imagination. This was not a classic Cena match that we've seen in the last couple of months with Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul and Sami Zayn and AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. This is not a classic Cena match that will go down as one of his finest efforts this year. John Cena used this match to take a pinfall to help one of the future pieces of this company on his way up to the top of the mountain. Within 5 years, Dominik is going to be the face of this company, or at least one of the faces of this company. Do I look at him as a future world champion? I do. I do. Not yet. Not yet. Everybody has their time. It's not his time. I think steps and things need to be done before we start talking about that. He laid down for Dominik. John Cena is keeping his promise about helping the youth, about helping the future. While at the same time, WWE gave him the Intercontinental Championship in Boston while he beat Dominik a few weeks ago, held it for about 20 days, and he knew he was dropping it here, which was the right decision. John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship in the way that he did, where he won it, was fine. It was John Cena's last time in Boston, and they got a moment out of it. That was a proper good moment, and it made sense. He won the one title that he didn't win. I didn't really give a shit about it, but I'm not going to sit here and say it was a bad moment. I didn't mind it. I just didn't care about it. It's two different things. But the fact that he won it and dropped it to Dominik says a lot. Not only for Dominik, but it also says the match with Gunther that we're getting in 2 weeks doesn't need it. Because John Cena doesn't need to drop the title to Gunther, and Gunther doesn't need to beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. Why would he need it? Gunther is a world heavyweight champion, a 2-time world heavyweight champion. Why would you go back and have him win the Intercontinental title? That's a step downwards for Gunther, who's one of the best pro wrestlers on the planet. He's done all he could with that title for 666 days. Beating John Cena in his last match is the only accolade that he needs. He doesn't need a fucking title. So dropping it to Dominik here was the right move. Some of you may look at this as overbooked. Some of you may look at this as, oh, God, this was fucking interference after interference, and this was a fucking clown show out here. This was a clown show. This was a circus in the best way possible. They booked this match to be a spectacle. The fans loved it. I enjoyed this match a lot more than I did their first match in Boston a few weeks ago. And I thought all of this worked out very, very well. I had no problem with what they did here. I did not expect Liv Morgan to come back. I figured they'd save her for the Royal Rumble. But Liv Morgan fitting into this role, coming back here, works. Maybe they got some other surprises for the Royal Rumble. But Liv Morgan coming back works. If she is ready to go and she's medically cleared, you get her back on television. Because the story now writes itself. They theoretically replaced Liv Morgan in the Judgment Day with Roxanne Perez without her approval. So Liv Morgan is now back with Dominik, and Liv Morgan's going to start asking questions. Liv Morgan's going to start to see how Finn Balor's been treating Dominik, and how Roxanne Perez has taken her spot, and how they fancy Roxanne more than they do Liv, and how fake they're going to react when they get back in each other's presence. They didn't miss Liv Morgan while she was gone. If they did, they wouldn't have replaced her. The story writes itself. Roxanne Perez has already made a beeline. She's already made her intentions known about the Intercontinental Championship. I've already said Roxanne Perez versus Maxine Dupree. Belt Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan writes itself for the Intercontinental Championship. Whether that happens in the early phases of 2026 or it happens at WrestleMania. Roxanne Perez as the champion walking into WrestleMania against Liv Morgan for the Intercontinental Championship is your money match there. In my opinion. If they don't do it, maybe they do a mixed tag team match. Instead of maybe doing the Intercontinental Championship match there, maybe Roxanne walks in with the Intercontinental Championship going into the new year. Liv Morgan beats her. She walks into WrestleMania with the Intercontinental Championship. And both Dominik and Liv Morgan walk in as men and women's Intercontinental Championship mixed tag team match against Roxanne Perez and Finn Balor. Because I'm assuming the story is going to lead to both Roxanne and Dominik being kicked out of the Judgment Day. I mean, that's got to be where it's going. Either way, Liv, Dom, Finn, Roxanne, mixed tag team match. Or Liv versus Roxanne. And then maybe we do Dom versus Finn. But I thought this worked. So, the Judgment Day, if they have been stagnant and haven't really had any real direction on TV, Now they do. Because Liv is coming back, and that story is going to present itself. And there's a lot that they could really tell there. So I thought this was really, really good. Overbooked? Yes. But I'm not looking at the overbooking in this sense as a problem. I'm not. Stephanie Vaquer. She went one-on-one with Nikki Bella. This was for the WWE Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer, she literally looked like she came out of hell itself. She wore all black. She was all business on this show. No smiles, just intent to kill. Nikki Bella came out there. She got hardly any reaction. This match was better saved for Monday Night Raw. This had no business being on a premium live event. Stephanie Vaquer is everything and premium. Nikki Bella is not. I'm sorry. Nobody's clamoring to see the fucking Bella twins in 2025. Bella tried a cheap shot as the bell rang. Stephanie came back with a drop kick. Beat her up a little bit. Stephanie missed a knee drop from the apron. Bella took over. Bella had control as the crowd watched silently. Completely just out of it. Nobody cared. There was no story coming into this. Nikki Bella had befriended Stephanie Vaquer over the last couple of weeks, and it was one of the more telegraphed heel turns that we've seen all year. And then when the turn happened, they didn't really even make a big deal out of the turn. Who cares? We all knew what was coming next. You had actually some people advocating for Nikki Bella to win the championship. We even talked about the potential of WWE maybe getting in the business of twin magic here and putting the belt on Nikki Bella to fulfill the heel turn. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, why would anybody give them any more ideas? Could you imagine? This match did not belong on the PLE. And the crowd, with their silence, also felt the same. So Nikki tried to set up for her own version of Devil's Kiss. Stephanie countered it, hit a back suplex. Stephanie then went for her Devil's Kiss. Bella rolled to the apron. Vaquer hit some headbutts, started punching away at Nikki, snap suplex. She goes for the cover. She gets it too. Then she picks Nikki up. She delivers an SVB, the Stephanie Vaquer backbreaker for a 2. Fucking hate that finishing move, and I hate the name of it. I wish she'd change it. Stephanie avoided Bella's rack attack 2.0. Hit a corner meteora. Nikki Bella at this point moving like she's in slow motion. Bella pulled Stephanie down from the ropes, hits a disaster kick, and then she hits the rack attack 2.0. She goes for a cover. She gets a 2. Stephanie got her foot on the bottom rope to break the pinfall. So Bella's now leaning against the apron. Stephanie hits a knee drop, and she hits the Devil's Kiss on top of the solid steel announce table. So she delivered this Devil's Kiss in front of Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. And Barrett then stated to Michael Cole, "Michael, you had the best view in the house." Michael Cole responded, "I'm not saying anything." Yeah, you better not, Michael Cole. Social media was ready to cancel you within mere seconds if you did. But yes, Michael Cole, the best view of the house. He had the best view in the entire building. As did everybody else sitting behind Michael Cole. You know why. Stephanie slid Bella back into the ring. She had Devil's Kiss again. And then she followed with a spiral tap. The corkscrew splash that she does off the top rope, which I hope she makes her actual finish. That is a literal thing of beauty, man. She fucking nailed it. Not as good as she did with IYO at WrestlePalooza, but she nailed it here on Nikki Bella, and that was it for the win. 1, 2, 3. She wins in 12 minutes, as she should. She retains the championship. Match had absolutely zero heat. The fact that this came after John Cena and Dominik Mysterio did not help its cause. The fact that it came in with absolutely zero story and little heat didn't help its cause. And the fact that WWE has not really set up Stephanie Vaquer with a successful reign so far after winning it in September also did not help its cause. Stephanie is a great wrestler. This has not been a great reign. WWE needs to start taking her reign seriously. Would they have treated Rhea Ripley's reign like this? Would they have treated Becky Lynch's reign like this? Maybe they would have. I don't know. Stephanie is the women's world champion. You put the belt on her in the aftermath of Naomi's injury or pregnancy. She's going to be out. And she's sorely missed. So do right by the title and do right by Stephanie. This reign has been uneventful. Just like this fucking show has been. 2 women's matches on this show out of 4, and both women's matches were uneventful. 12 women on this show, as uneventful of performances as WWE's women's division has done all year. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul. This was not a good night for the women. WWE needs to do a lot better. WWE announced a crowd attendance of 46,016. The highest record for Survivor Series as far as attendance goes. So after that match was over, we were obviously looking at the main event, the men's War Games. As soon as Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer ended, 25 minutes from the bell that ended that match to the opening bell of the men's War Games. 25 minutes. We got nothing. We got advertisements. We got more celebrities. We got more advertisements. We got introductions and theme musics. And then the bell rings. Bro, I had enough time to go do the remaining dishes that were dirty in my sink. I put them in the dishwasher, and I made myself a vanilla latte all in the amount of time, and I had an extra 8 minutes left over. Bro, you could have went and disappeared from your fucking television, hopped on Black Ops 7, and did 3 games of Team Deathmatch, and still have enough for at least a half a game left over. What in the fucking ever-loving fuck are we doing here, bro? How do you stand for this shit? Men's War Games. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso versus Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed. Now, there was a news article that hit the news feeds. Apparently, there was an issue with WWE. WrestleVotes put out a tweet, if I can find it. There was a creative disagreement occurring regarding men's War Games entrance order at tonight's Survivor Series. So this was published earlier in the afternoon. A report from WrestleVotes stated that creative discussions are occurring backstage regarding the logistics of tonight's War Games match at Survivor Series. The report indicates there is a creative contention regarding the specific order in which the match participants will enter the match structure. The report published on X states, sources indicate there is some creative contention over the entrance order for tonight's men's War Games match. With the amount of star power in play, several scenarios were mapped out, and there are differing opinions. End quote. The disagreement stemmed from the composition of the teams involved in the men's match. Obviously, you got a lot of egos there. A lot of egos there. The primary logistical challenge cited regarding star power involves balancing the presentation of Reigns, Punk, and Rhodes within a single unit. You know, on one hand, you look at it, and the first thing you want to say is, man, these egos are running wild backstage, huh? A huge turnoff to anybody is just this level of egotistical behavior. Why would anybody be that egotistical? Like, why not just do what you got to do? You're going to get your reactions regardless of where you come out. And make sure the match is the way that it needs to be. Genuinely. Make sure the match quality is up to par for being a War Games match. And deliver what Paul Heyman said on First Take this week. We know we got to deliver the best War Games match that we've ever done. Then you could look at it in a different way. Like, everybody's very hungry. Everybody's very hungry for that top spot. And then you look at that situation, and you look at a Cody and a Roman and a situation there where they all want that top spot. That's great. You legitimately got guys there who want to be the guy. And they'll do anything that they need to do to be the guy. I like that. So you can look at it from both ways. But I said on social media, I mean, put the egos aside. Who gives a fuck when you come out? You're going to get your sing-alongs anyway. And WWE should focus, these guys should focus on delivering the best match possible. It doesn't matter who comes out and when. Simple. And like every single PLE he's on, Roman either is first or last. There's no in-between with Roman. So if Roman wasn't going out first, Roman was coming out last. So it was between Punk and Cody, who's coming out first. And in this case, CM Punk came out first. Cody got the shaft. So they wanted Punk to go out there first. Or maybe Punk wanted to go out there first. I don't know. Maybe Punk wanted the workload and he took the brunt of the fucking match. Maybe he wanted to go out there and take the majority of the minutes. So not only does CM Punk want the top spot, he also wants the ball, and he wants to go out there and fucking work. I don't know how you look at that as a bad thing. CM Punk and Bron Breakker started this match. I actually thought that it was going to be Logan Paul, but giving Bron Breakker that spot, it worked out very well. Because I could see this being the next program for the World Championship, and the way that this match ended, I am pretty certain that this is going to be the next program for the World Heavyweight Championship. When, where, I don't know. That's to be determined. CM Punk and Bron Breakker started. CM Punk entered by climbing the cage. They did not come out with a weapon of choice. Nobody came out here, at least until the Usos came out there. Nobody came out with a weapon. Love it. The steel structure is the weapon. So they wrestled back and forth for 5 minutes. And a nice back and forth. Looking forward to when they actually get a one-on-one match. After 5 minutes, Drew McIntyre came in. Now, the heels in this match had the advantage because McIntyre and Logan Paul won the advantage match over the Usos on Monday Night Raw. So the heels would have a 2-on-1 advantage, or a man advantage here, rather. A man advantage leading up to when the final babyface makes his way out. So Drew McIntyre comes out, and CM Punk at this point was very much a dead man. Not only did he had the beast Bron Breakker out there, but he had Drew McIntyre out there, and he and McIntyre had the best feud of 2024. So they worked on CM Punk 2-on-1. Punk tried to fight off both guys the best he could, but McIntyre dropped him with a fucking nasty Claymore kick. So McIntyre takes Punk and starts grating his face against the steel cage. So at this point, myself anyway, I was thinking I'm anticipating blood here. No doubt about it. The more that they did that, I was expecting someone to bleed. So Punk did emerge, bleeding from his forehead just a couple moments later. Now, Michael Cole said he didn't know how that happened. I mean, you got another grown guy who's 6'5" and 280 fucking pounds grating your face against a steel cage. Gee, Michael Cole, I wonder how CM Punk ended up bleeding. So Punk was bleeding, which I wasn't surprised by because Punk plays old school. CM Punk was not going to go into this match for 40 fucking minutes and then emerge not bleeding. The difference is with Punk, if Punk bladed the right way. Punk concealed the blade. Nobody seen him blade. Not like the fucking indie outlaw amateurs on AEW where they fucking bleed and it's nothing more than fucking buckets and rivers of blood to a point where it looks like a scene out of fucking Jack the Ripper. This was a nice blood flow. This looked like it belonged in the match. It wasn't too little, it wasn't too much. And of course it was going to be CM Punk because Punk just gets it. And one of the reasons why I am so pro-Punk is because Punk, he just presents wrestling in the way that I enjoy pro wrestling. There are some old school tricks and some old school ideologies that absolutely work in 2025. Punk is very much a quality over quantity guy. Punk is very much a less is more guy. And that's why I am a CM Punk fan. If you don't like that, kiss my fucking ass. So Punk is bleeding. So heels are working over Punk. Cody Rhodes comes out. He evens the odds here. So we got Cody and Punk teaming up. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is the WrestleMania main event for WrestleMania 42 for the WWE Championship. I just don't see how CM Punk goes into an Elimination Chamber, which is emanating from Chicago, and doesn't win the Elimination Chamber to get his main event at WrestleMania. I don't know. So Cody's out there. So McIntyre held the door shut, just like Becky Lynch held the door shut for the women, which forced AJ Lee to climb the cage. This is how fucking lazy WWE was for the 2025 Survivor Series War Games. They basically copied the women's War Games homework. McIntyre held the cage door shut so Cody could not come in through the door, and Cody was forced to climb the cage and jump off the fucking top of the cage with a goddamn crossbody. They just did this 2 hours ago. Punk walked up behind Rhodes. Rhodes accidentally elbowed Punk in the face and knocked him down, building tension between the baby faces. He didn't realize that Punk was behind him. He thought it was one of the Vision. Punk got in Rhodes' face. They got on the same page eventually. Gave McIntyre a heart attack. Not legitimately, but the heart attack. The Hart Foundation's finishing move. You know, because CM Punk is a Bret Hart guy. He's a Bret Hart mark. Not as big as my guy, Dax Softwood over there, but he's still a Punk mark. Or a Bret Hart mark. The FTR are Punk marks. And they're Bret Hart marks. So, after the heart attack, they also gave Breakker a doomsday device. I don't know what happened here. So not only did they deliver the Hart Foundation's finish, they went up and tried to do the Legion of Doom spot, or the, I guess the Steiners did that too. They did the doomsday device move off the top rope. Maybe Punk wanted to take a page out of good old Scotty Steiner's playbook here. I don't fucking know. But Bron Breakker landed so fucking brutal off of this spot. He landed on the back of his neck. Bro, I swear to God, man, Bron Breakker's neck has got to be made of rubber. Bro, the way that this guy landed on the back of his neck, you would think that he would have fucking nerve damage. The guy just popped right back up. I swear to God, man, it's almost like you don't even have a fucking neck. This looked bad. This looked absolutely fucking bad. So Barrett freaked out. The camera didn't focus on it. The doctors went to go check on Breakker, and he continued the match. Goes to show you the guy's toughness. The guy is legitimately a badass. Logan Paul comes out next. He went underneath the ring and brought in steel chairs because Drew McIntyre wanted him to. He helped his team gain the advantage. Jimmy Uso came out next. He brought a table into the ring with him as he went underneath the ring. Now we got a parade of weapons in the ring. We got the table brought in now with the Slim Jim logo on it. Jimmy got some offense for a moment. Drew McIntyre cut him off with a Claymore. Heels maintain control. Bronson Reed came out next. He came in there and decided to make good on what happened last year because he broke his fucking foot in the War Games match last year by doing a tsunami off the top of the cage through a fucking table. So this year, instead of doing one, he did three. He delivered Punk, Jimmy, and Cody with tsunamis. Jimmy fired back with super kicks. Reed dropped him with a big body check. So the babyfaces still had two guys left. Everybody knows that Jey Uso's coming out next, and then Roman was going to come out last. So Jey Uso comes out. He's in literally no rush to get to the ring. He's jogging at a 1 speed on the treadmill, jogging to the ring with no sense of urgency whatsoever. He yeeted as the countdown timer counted down. He enters. He handed out super kicks. He helped his brother to his feet. They handed out more super kicks. They delivered a 1D to Logan Paul. And then the camera zooms in on Jey, and he does the, let's run it back, Oos. So we break out into the theme song merchants yeet in the middle of a War Games. Nothing says War Games like a good old-fashioned yeet in front of 46,000 people. I will say, though I hate it, when he was cut off by Brock Lesnar's music, I actually enjoyed that. When Brock Lesnar's music hit, I actually enjoyed when they cut his yeet session off. I thought that was great. So, mid-match, in this match, to do the yeet, bro, Triple H, I mean, bro, you got to get with the fucking program, man. Read the fucking room. Seriously. You got 46,000 people there. That doesn't mean it's super fucking over. It's dead. It's a dead fucking gimmick. The guy is nothing more than an entrance merchant now. I said this on Friday. Every time Jey Uso's out there, I don't give a fuck. Jey Uso, I have no problem with Jey Uso. Zero problem with Jey. I'm sure Jey Uso's a swell guy. But Jey Uso, man, if you've seen one Jey Uso match, you've seen every Jey Uso match. Like, bro, there's a time and a place to do the fucking yeet. It's all right to do the yeet on a Monday night. You got War Games. You're battling division. You've been battling these guys since WrestleMania season. They have owned the Usos. They've beaten the Usos. They've injured Roman. Injured, quote unquote. There's a time and a place to do the yeet. Inside a War Games match, to run it back is not the time and the place. I'm sorry. You got your yeet when you ran out there like you were fucking jogging on your way to the bodega to go pick up a fucking sausage, egg, and cheese because you were hungry after a binge night of drinking. There's a time and a place to yeet. That time is not the time and the place. So Brock Lesnar cut him off. He entered with Paul Heyman. Michael Cole said this was the first time since 2004 that Lesnar wrestled in a match with any teammates. Sounds about right. If you enjoyed Brock Lesnar's work, then you enjoyed what he did here to the babyfaces inside War Games. If you hate Brock Lesnar and don't want to see him back on television because he's a one-trick pony, then you legitimately hated everything about his offense here. We got nothing but suplexes and F5s to Cody, to Punk, to Jimmy, to Jey. The guy was just handing out suplexes and F5s everywhere. So I will say this. His offense is boring. Like, we've seen it. There's nothing new. He's not going to invent the fucking... He's not going to reinvent the wheel over here. Okay? But there's something about Lesnar being confined in a fucking cage like a great white. This is a spectacle. And to see Lesnar confined inside this structure, like, this is who the structure was built for. So no matter if you like Lesnar or not, no matter if you liked his offense delivery here or not, if it was the same old shit or not, the spectacle of Lesnar inside the match, you gotta admit, shit looked fucking great. Honestly. So he hands out the typical offense to everybody. Roman Reigns entered last. Now, he took his time getting to the ring. Another one. He's the men's version of Rhea Ripley here. Comes out. He slow walks out there like he's the fucking Undertaker at WrestleMania. Throws the one in the air. His fucking cousins and his team is getting fucking torn to shreds by Brock Lesnar. Let me walk out there and throw my one in the air. Legitimately no sense of urgency. I get that WWE's going for the fucking epic fucking gunslinger showdown here. And I quite like their sneaky way to bend the rules. WWE, at the top of the show, gave you the rundown. If and when the match officially starts, if any member of the teams leave the ring, you forfeit the match for your team. The bell didn't ring yet. The match did not get officially started. Lesnar exited the cage while Roman Reigns was making his way down the aisle and stood on top of the steel steps. Lesnar met Reigns in the aisleway. They met and fought in the aisleway, Superman punches until they worked their way around the commentary table, until Lesnar F5'd Roman Reigns through the commentary table. So they found a loophole through the rules of the match. And again, I quite like that. Whereas when we watched AEW's match, they had no rules about leaving the cage, and everybody abused the fucking rule. It was a free-for-all. The cage with a top in AEW is supposed to keep everybody confined while the referees keep the door locked. For some reason, everybody found their way outside the top of the cage, on top of the cage. They were fucking squeezing through the fucking partitions through the cage. Yeah, Tekla and Julia Hart on AEW Dynamite fucking squeezed through the cage to find their way on the outside. One company did too much, the other company did too little. There's no in between. I quite like when I am given a rule and someone bends it in a very sly and sneaky way. This was great. Whether you like Lesnar or not, that was great. So he got put through the table. Lesnar brought Reigns back into the ring. He hits another F5, and the match is officially started now. Hits another F5. Cody Rhodes broke up the cover. Punk gave Lesnar a GTS. Cody hits a crossroads. Logan Paul broke up the cover from Cody on Lesnar with a frog splash off the top rope. Heyman then handed Logan Paul brass knuckles, which, I mean, he could have brought them into the ring when he came in, but he opted for steel chairs. But then he slides over to the side of the cage and asks the wise man to give him his brass knuckles. So he's got the brass knuckles on. Logan knocked out Punk. He knocked out Jimmy. Reigns dropped him with a spear. Reigns put on the brass knuckles. He used them on Bronson Reed and Drew McIntyre. Breakker faced off with Reigns. Reigns speared Bron Breakker. Lesnar got Jay up in an F5. Roman Reigns speared him. And there was the Slim Jim table set up in the corner. And he sent both men did Roman. He sent Lesnar and Jay through the corner table with a spear. Jay was just collateral damage. Breakker speared Jay and Cody Rhodes. Punk fought off Breakker and gave Logan Paul a GTS. Bron Breakker broke up the cover. All of a sudden, we see a mystery man climbing the cage. He finds his way inside the cage. He's got a black hood and a face mask on. You can't see who he is. He climbs the cage. He gets into the cage. He attacks CM Punk with a super kick. The Masked Man also then hits a curb stomp on CM Punk, and the crowd popped because they thought it could be Seth Rollins. Barrett said it couldn't have been Seth Rollins because he just recently got shoulder surgery. The Masked Man then climbed the cage up top again and quickly left. Bron Breakker looked confused. He then puts his straps back on because they were down. He then takes his straps off and then speared CM Punk. And WWE actually pinned the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. And Bron Breakker got the win, which is the right call. So now, if logic proves correct and history in WWE proves correct, Bron Breakker just scored a pinfall victory, whether he was helped or not, it doesn't matter. He scored a pinfall victory over CM Punk. He is now in line for a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. When and where, I don't know. But WWE is going to give Bron Breakker the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think that's the right move. When and where, again, I don't know. The heels posed together in the aisleway. The fireworks went off. Lesnar was very happy, had a huge smile on his face. He was patting Bron Breakker on the back. All of a sudden, the camera goes back into the ring and looks at CM Punk all dejected. He don't know what happened. Roman Reigns doesn't like CM Punk. Roman Reigns helped CM Punk up, shook CM Punk's hand, and gave him a fist bump. Roman Reigns did not help Cody Rhodes up. He left Cody Rhodes to get up by himself. Now, Dave Meltzer had a rumor or a report. It's more like Dave talking out of his asshole and just speculating while calling it news. Dave Meltzer speculated that at the end of the War Games match, WWE is going to heavily tease what the WrestleMania main event is going to be in Las Vegas next year. And if we looked at what happened here, it looks like from what we saw, WWE is potentially setting up Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 3 for the WWE Championship. Who asked for that? And who wants to see that again for a third time? Does that mean The Rock gets involved? You would almost have to bet that The Rock gets involved if that's the case. Why would we give the title back to Roman Reigns, who has worked less matches year over year over year over the last 3 years, and give the WWE Championship back to a fucking part-timer? Unless Roman's going to work double or triple the amount of dates that he worked in the last 3 years, I don't see that as a viable option. Why would we go and do that? Because that's what we certainly got teased tonight. Cody and Roman had a war of words or something that was said there. I didn't really get what Roman was saying. I think Roman said something along the lines of, "This is the last time I team with you." I think that's what he said. And then he walked away. And the show went off the air. This match went 39 minutes. Everybody's like, JD, how did you like that match? Why did you like that match? I thought the match was good. I complained about the fact that there was nothing tangible on the line. I complained of the fact that on the go-home show, none of these guys really expressed how they hate the Vision and why they want to take down the Vision and why it's so important to take down the Vision. Rollins isn't there. Explain to me why you want to end this group. Instead, they sold the tension between Roman and Punk, Roman and Cody, Cody and Punk, Punk and Roman. I didn't mind the match. On a show that was largely a thumbs-down show, this was easily one of the highlights of the show, which is not difficult to achieve, being what we got has been fucking terrible. But as far as the physicality in the match, I'm not even talking about the story of previous War Games matches. There wasn't really much of anything in the previous War Games matches. What are you guys missing? What are you guys hanging on to as far as ranking these War Games matches? Oh, JD, you're crazy for thinking this was a good match. All the other matches basically were mirror images of each other outside of one aspect. The Bloodline. The Bloodline and Sami Zayn with the Honorary Usos. Can we trust them? That was a test for Sami Zayn to get into the Bloodline. Then he eventually turned on Roman. Then we got Randy Orton coming back. Randy Orton joined Cody's fight against the Judgment Day. I don't remember anything in that match outside of Randy Orton fucking super RKOing JD McDonough off the top of the fucking cage. And then we got last year's debacle of Bronson Reed breaking his fucking foot. The story in that match was Punk and Roman. Punk doing Paul Heyman a favor because they needed a fifth, which eventually led to Punk using Heyman as his wise man going into Mania. Outside that, the match, there was nothing special about the fucking match. I'm talking from a physicality standpoint. This match was more physical. This match was more taxing on its performers than the previous versions were. We got blood in this match. We got blood from both Cody and Punk, which again, I'm not surprised by because they are riddled in the old school. They are not walking into a War Games match without some color. This match was physical more than the other ones. They abused the rule and broke the rule of the forfeit. You can't go outside. We didn't see anybody leave the fucking cage on the other versions of War Games. WWE played with the fact that they made this rule and they broke its own rule and had a loophole on how to do it. And Lesnar and Reigns had a nice little exchange on the outside, which gave the match a nice chaotic feel. They didn't abuse it. There wasn't some fucking railroad spikes or fucking bullshit off the top of the cage that led to nothing. Everything made sense. And Lesnar wanted his revenge on Reigns for what Reigns did to him at MSG when he Superman punched him out of the ring. The way that the match was structured was a lot better than everything else that we've gotten previously as well. The only thing missing here was a true story. WWE made it more of a, let's build the tension between the baby faces here, and we'll follow that in the aftermath of this War Games. Meanwhile, they didn't even do that. They dropped the ball on that big time. WWE left this exactly how they left last year's match. When they all left the cage at last year's Survivor Series, you thought that something was going to happen, someone was going to come out, someone was going to turn. They all left and kissed Paul Heyman like he was some mafia boss. And while CM Punk left the cage, he audibly uttered to Paul Heyman, "You now owe me." And Roman Reigns heard that. And Roman Reigns did not take too much of a liking to Paul Heyman agreeing that he owes CM Punk because he felt like Paul Heyman was betraying his trust. But the War Games last year went off the air with all of them side by side. Nothing happened. Just like this year, nothing happened. They gave you a mystery assailant who they didn't even reveal, who pretended to be Seth Rollins, who's not Seth Rollins. It is not Seth Rollins. According to the news, apparently, the identity of the masked man at Survivor Series revealed, and it's not Seth Rollins. This is coming from WrestlingNews.co. Apparently, according to a report from PW Insider, the person under the mask was none other than Austin Theory. During the official post-show press conference airing on ESPN and YouTube, Paul Heyman was directly asked about the identity of the assailant. Heyman insisted he had no prior knowledge of who the masked man was or that the interference was planned. Based on the backstage reports, Heyman appears to be telling the truth, at least regarding the lack of involvement from CM Punk's camp. The attack seems to be the catalyst for a new high-profile angle involving Austin Theory. It was only one of two guys. It was either going to be Randy Orton or Austin Theory. And in this case, it was Austin Theory. Why we couldn't get the fucking identity of the man tonight? Maybe WWE didn't want that going off the air because they know his inclusion isn't really going to burn the fucking internet down with engagement. WWE's got a severe fucking problem of ending these shows on a high note. The heels won, and the baby faces didn't. You should have at least given us the identity of said individual at the end of this show. There was no harm and no foul about giving us the identity of this individual. I don't know why we got to wait for weekly television. I don't know why we got to wait for Raw. Every single PLE, Triple H has played it like Big Bird. He holds the kid's hands and he walks across the street when the light is green. You can't cross when it's red, children. Bro, stop being a fucking pussy. Stop playing it safe. Go fucking kick that door down and fucking burn Sesame Street down to the ground, bro. We need to start booking with some risk. We need to start booking with some fucking payoff. Everything is way too long or way too short, and there's no in between. There was legitimately no reason why Austin Theory couldn't be revealed as the fucking masked man at the end of Survivor Series to at least give us a fucking talking point. Instead of asking, who is it and why? You could have revealed him and then asked why. And then have him cut a promo on Raw about why he joined the Vision and why he helped the Vision win. Why is he now all of a sudden linked to the Vision? I don't get this place. I don't get this place. It's like fucking Triple H hired Bert, Ernie, Big Bird, Oscar, and Cookie Monster to be on the fucking writing team. That's who I believe is on the fucking writing team. Cookie? Let me find out Elmo is writing this fucking Survivor Series. The Vision needs members. Drew McIntyre's not a part of the Vision. Logan Paul's not a part of the Vision. Brock Lesnar's not a part of the Vision. McIntyre's not even a Raw guy. Lesnar does what he wants. He's not going to be appearing on television again until the Royal Rumble. And Logan Paul was only a hired gun. They need talent. They need bodies. They need youth. They got Reed. They got Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and now they got Austin Theory. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a fourth. Whoever that may be. But WWE's got to fucking pack it up with this fucking play it safe mentality, bro. Holy fucking shit. Honestly. This Survivor Series was fucking garbage. Such a lame duck, flat, uneventful show with no major payoff at the end to say, hey, man, I can't wait to watch Monday Night Raw. Women's War Games was a fucking absolute snooze fest. Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer don't belong on the fucking show. The War Games concepts are fucking being beaten into the ground. Fucking absolutely irrelevant they are becoming. They finally decided to add a little bit of color to the men's match. Meanwhile, the women's match didn't need it. It's time we start talking about the War Games concept taking a break instead of using it, instead of whoring it out to sell fucking tickets inside a baseball stadium in front of 45,000 people, open air, where it sounded like fucking AEW Collision for a premium live event. I heard Collisions in front of 1,200 people louder than the fucking place that they were in tonight. Triple H will go down not winning Booker of the Year this year. He had a shot. He had a shot. He had to turn it around in the second half, and he failed. He failed. Coming out of SummerSlam, he had a good shot of turning things around. Going into Crown Jewel was a good show. We got some decent fucking Raws, the John Cena tournament, War Games. Bro, it's over. It's over. By default, Shawn Michaels will win Booker of the Year. And I think NXT's largely dog shit. And Shawn Michaels will win Booker of the Year. There's no way Tony Khan is Booker of the Year in any publication, from any journalist, from any podcast. The guy sucks. And so does Triple H. Triple H needs to fucking wallow in his fucking complete dog shit creative alongside Tony Khan, because that's where he belongs. WWE creative in 2025 without John Cena, bro. I swear to God. I think they're just whoring John Cena out, and they rode John Cena's coattails because they knew that they had it in the bag for the rest of the year and they didn't need to do a fucking thing. I want to see what they do without John Cena. It'd be funny to follow the product to see if the stories actually start coming back now that Cena's not going to be there in 2 weeks. WWE will take the rest of the year off. They'll hit January. They'll start big. They'll fucking hype up WrestleMania season. The Rumble will hit. And then everybody will be on that fucking WWE high. Last year's WrestleMania season was fucking garbage. Man, he's got some work to do. This show did not offer anything new. This show did not change people's opinions on Triple H. In fact, this is actually worse. This is making people look at WWE worse now than it ever has. Nothing is changing. But they got no problem touting 46,000 people outside Petco Park for a Survivor Series that was the highest grossing event in 39 years. That's all they care about. Meanwhile, they just delivered a 4-match, thumbs-down show. I don't know, chat. Am I too hard on WWE? Am I too hard on WWE? I don't think so. We got a $100 super chat from the Polish Sausage. Even though they might fuck it up, I hope they don't fuck this masked intruder bullshit. Polish Sausage. It is Austin Theory. Make of that what you will. Thank you guys for joining me on this Survivor Series post show. I appreciate you guys very much. We had 4,200 people in here on this Saturday night. Thank you guys. Yes. Oh, JD's on the WWE payroll, bruh. Let me find out someone says I'm on Triple H's payroll, bro. Show them this stream. Comments from fucking geeks who don't watch the content. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the great content on the channel. There's plenty of it. Monday night, Tuesday night Titans, Dynamite, Friday night SmackDown. We were live tonight. Probably taking tomorrow off. We'll hit it back Monday, and it's going to be a busy week. We'll start December hot. Consider to hit that thumbs up, man. We got 1,353. I'd love to see 1,500. We got 3,700 people still in here. I'd love to see 1,500. So if you guys have not hit the thumbs up, let's do it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about Survivor Series. And get those super chats in. We're going to read through them right now, actually. We'll start at the top here. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JD, OTS, War Games, are you ready? Let's go. Yeah. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. I'm not gonna lie, I slept through the women's match. It bored me. I've never been a fan of these PLEs. They don't hit. Also, with the 199, to be honest, they didn't need 2 rings. I don't know why they exist. I didn't find that to be a problem. I thought both matches actually used both rings fairly well. Toya D with a $2 super chat. I knew Liv was going to show up tonight. And she also asks, who the fuck is the mystery guy? Austin Theory. It was either Randy Orton or Austin Theory. And Austin Theory is the guy, according to Mike Johnson, the PW Insider. Tommy Brannigan with 46 months. JD and OTS. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and wishing you all happy holidays this season. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you very much. Zeno with a $10 super chat. It was Solomonster who screwed Punk. You can tell by the back of his head. P.S. Thanks, JD, for the advice yesterday. I needed to hear that. You're welcome, brother. What did I say with the Solomonster on Tuesday? I think Punk is going to lose this match for his team and take the pin by Bron Breakker. What happened, chat? That's exactly what happened. Solomonster got the Liv Morgan one right. I got that one right. So I think we hit on our predictions, huh? Ethan Nelson with a $9.99. This PLE told me everything I need to know. The problem runs deep, from management to the producers to the wrestlers themselves. No motivation or drive. It's not going to get better. You know, we still got 3,500 people in here. Guys, I would love if every fucking one of you went to my recent tweet. I tweeted at Triple H. I want you to like the fucking tweet and retweet the tweet. I added him and said, Chief, this was the worst PLE in your administration. Go retweet it. Go like it. Get the engagement up. Get it into the Twitter algorithm, man. We got to get that out there. He needs to know how poorly of a job he's doing. Italian Stallion with a $14.99. JD, my man, what was that? Honestly, that was a depressing show. I feel sick. Worst PLE of the year by a mile. I'm sick to my stomach. Dynamite contends with this. Cody Snyder with a $5 super chat. My dude pulled goat shit by rocking H3 gear. Love Halloween 3. Man, if you don't like Punk, fuck off. Yeah, I didn't get the correlation, bro. Not the Halloween guy. Boss Mo Jackson with a $1.99. This show was a no. I fell asleep on the main event. So you fell asleep during the women's war games and the men's war games. I think you're trying to tell me, Jackson, that you don't like war games. Hi, Chief, with a $1.99. Brock was phenomenal when he got it. And of course Bro, listen. You either love Brock or you hate Brock. But the fact of the matter is Brock in that environment is going to be Brock. And it looks fucking great. Simple. Well, if you guys have Twitter, like the tweet. If you don't have Twitter, I don't blame you. Good on you. Michelle Moran with a 5. Men's War Games match was okay. I felt it was a rushed ending, and the mystery man can't be Seth because it's too obvious. I'll say Randy Orton. Randy Orton was an option, but Mike Johnson has reported it is Austin Theory. Cam G, thank you, brother, for the 100 in Super Chat. Love that, Cam G. Is such a great valued VIP here on OTS. Twister 1296 with a $9.99. War Games needs to end. This was, in my opinion, the worst stadium show the company's ever done. I'm so done with the safeness. I'm so done with the bullshit hype. I'm done with it. Bro, you know what? They'll hear these criticisms and they won't care. And you know what? He'll probably book a banger Raw and everybody will forget what happened here tonight. And they'll be right back on Triple H's nutsack. It's exactly what they'll do. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Whoever booked a Jey Uso run it back in the middle of a goddamn war game should be given their walking papers effective immediately. That's why I said, bro, there's a time and a place for that shit. Inside a War Games match is not it. It's not a fucking party inside War Games. Like, stop. You can take the night off by not yeeting. It makes the whole feud with the Vision look like a fucking joke. Eddie Valentino with a 10. I wish that they could at least rotate every year between having War Games and traditional Survivor Series matches on the pay-per-view. I also need a break from War Games. Yes, I think that's the general consensus. We all need a break from War Games. It is going the way of Hell in a Cell. It is. Tony Brown with 42 months. A very predictable PLE where. And where does Lash tuck her penis? I'm just saying. Tony. Come on, bro. Bro, you're gonna have to answer to Trick Williams with those types of comments, man. He just engaged to Lash Legend. JD Strogan 91 in the chat. Have I tried the Dead Billionaire and Blueberry Buzzsaw from Liquid Death? The Blueberry Buzzsaw is fantastic. I got a whole 6-pack in the fridge. The Dead Billionaire is great. The Rest in Peach is not so good. Not a fan. Italian Stan with the $7.99. I honestly can't believe what I just watched. I've never been so angry and disappointed in a WWPLE like this in my life. This was a clown show. The show wasn't good, Italian Stallion. You have every right to feel that way. Captain Solo with it too. And Seth Rollins says our opinions don't matter. Fuck him. Our opinions absolutely do matter. You see what we're paying to sit in these shows? Can you imagine spending money the way that these people spent money and this is the product that they received and then they say you're not allowed to have your opinions? Fuck you, bro. Really? My guy Billy with the 40 months. My man JD tonight. Commercials after commercials after commercials. Ads after ads after fucking ads. OTS for life. This is what we are paying for, bro. This is TKO and ESPN getting their investment worth. Italian Stallion with a $7.99. Commercial after commercial. Long wait times in between matches and entrances. 4 matches. What in the living hell is going on? Bro, it took 25 minutes to get us from the end of Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella to the beginning of the main event. He also says with a $2.99, fire Triple H. I don't think Triple H is going to lose his job. Not yet, anyway. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. So who wins Worst Booker of the Year for 2025? Triple H or Tony Khan? Thanks for all you do here, bruv. Always entertained. Tony Khan is the Worst Booker of the Year. Triple H is number 2. Tony Khan is the Worst Booker of the Year. He legitimately makes no sense of anything. Triple H is terrible for all the reasons. Tony Khan just doesn't make sense of anything. Coiled Phoenix with a new membership. I know that's false because she has a title belt next to her name. She just re-upped. And Coiled Phoenix, I appreciate your commitment to the OTS VIP Club. Vinny P with a $1.99. This War Games was the same as every Raw. Yay. Basically. The Lore Maestro, $54.98 with a $4.99. This year in AEW and WWE sucks. What the fuck has happened to Triple H and TKO's original booking prowess of story and wrestling, etc.? The large TV contracts and streaming contracts have blinded their vision, per se. Hellfire Kai with a 5. This show makes me like waifu blood and guts. Men's blood and guts 10 times better. Did anybody else see the PlayStation logo in the ring? The greed is real. I did. I saw it on the turnbuckle. And I saw it on the ring mat. Adrian with a new membership. Adrian, thank you, brother. Antioch. Go to 2. Hell yeah, JD. This is why I subscribe. True as fuck. Thank you, brother. Kanye's index finger. 94.51 with a 9.99. Yeah, the show felt bland, especially the men's match. Fuck the Uso run it back. I did like the John Cena match, though. Ray Reezy. I feel bad for the ones who bought ESPN for $30. Thank God I got my VPN, not giving TKO my money for dog shit storytelling. Bro, I am very proud of you, and keep it that way. Keep on scamming them, bro. Get it how you can get it. It's not worth the money. Italian Stallion. Uso yeeting on the cage. Seriously, fuck. Yep. Unfortunately, Stallion. Kenneth Douglas with a 5. WWE Wackos will tell you the Women's War Games match was good. I can't believe people think that match was good. Absolutely. Bro, the match was fucking dog shit. It's actually an embarrassment and an indictment on War Games. Captain Solo with a 2. Worst year of WWE since Diesel was champ. Bro, I will not stand for Diesel slander as WWE champ. I don't think Diesel was as bad as people gave him heartache over. Italian Stallion with a 2.99. WrestlePalooza is greater than Survivor Series shit games. Bro, even WrestlePalooza was a disappointment. The Lord Maestro with a 4.99. I saw last week's stream with you and Jesse, and I was getting upset with him antagonizing you, especially comparing your cursing to AEW bleeding. Well, hopefully he rebounds on Wednesday and comes in with a fresh head. Sidro with a $10 super chat. What do you call a snowman with a six-pack? An abdominal snowman. And Christopher Walken wanted to take his wife to a fancy restaurant. He calls to see if he needs a reservation. Host says all walk-ins are welcome. Sidro with a $2 super chat. Chuck Norris got shot. Bullet in critical condition. Speaking of condition critical, shout out to my boys. New Jersey-based thrash metal act, Condition Critical. You guys are hearing them now. Adam JD with a $5 super chat. I said the same thing. JD Lash is a better Jade than Jade is Jade. And also, to her credit, she doesn't look overshadowed being paired with Nia. She doesn't, because she's fucking big. She's a tall woman. Sidro with a $5 super chat. How do you catch a squirrel? Climb a tree and act like a nut. Did you know that Jesus was originally named Gary, but then Mary stubbed her toe? Hey, the squirrels are going nuts in my backyard, man. They're rummaging for all the nuts. It's going to be a cold winter, bro. Riley with a $4.99. I really don't think the SVB is Stephanie's finisher anymore. It never wins now. It should be the spiral tap for sure from now on. I absolutely agree. Dan the Cards fan with a $9.99 and a $9.99 times 2. Thank you, brother. Why would Punk versus Rhodes be a good match at Mania? Punk is already the world champion. Punk has no business winning the chamber. It either has to be McIntyre, Orton, or Reigns. Because it's the only intriguing match that is left for a WrestleMania main event. I don't want to see Cody versus Randy Orton. I feel like there's just way too much time that's passed. We've already seen it. I don't want to see Roman versus Cody. I don't want to see Roman versus Punk. Seth Rollins being injured threw a wrench in the plans. It was supposed to be Rollins and Reigns for the World's Heavyweight Championship, which would have left Punk open up to not win the championship, but win the chamber, and then finally get a match with Cody. Maybe Rollins will be back before WrestleMania, and we still are going to be on that trajectory. Even if Punk loses the title before the chamber, he still has no business winning the chamber. Stop giving title shots to people who lost the title in the last year. Joey Taylor with a $9.99. Survivor Series 5 out of 10. The only people that hate Brock is 4 women in the IWC who I will not name because I don't want you to get clipped, JD. Fuck them. All of those people will still clip Brock Lesnar clips and react in a fake way to Brock Lesnar because they know it gets views. You know, they all got their thumbnails. Most of the content in the community sucks, and nobody can do what we do here. Nobody can lace my fucking boots. Or Solid Monster, or whoever else is at the top of the fucking game here. Joey Taylor, thank you, brother. Vinny P with a $1.99. The Frog Splash Dom hit was a thing of beauty. It was nice. It was very nice. B-Vay with a $5 super chat. Really enjoy your venting here. And no, you're not too hard on WWE. Keep going. Yeah, but I know. Listen, bro. I'm on the payroll. I'm on the payroll, bro. Furious Nation with a $19.99. What's up, JD? Can't believe it's almost December. Like I said, 2025 has not been good this year for WWE and Triple H. Sadly, I've been on social media and seen people saying that Triple H should be replaced by Vince. The same man who gave us a fucking... The same man who gave us a pose-off in the main event segment of Monday Night Raw between Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. The guy who wanted to fire Gunther. Yeah, no thanks. The guy who was about to fire Max Dupree. LA Knight? Yeah, no thanks. Furious Nation with a $4.99. Would you crown Bron Breakker the new World's Heavyweight Champion on the first Raw of 2026? Saturday night main event in January or the Royal Rumble? I'd do it as soon as possible. Solomon might have heard that. What, the fact that he is at the top of the game with me? What are you talking about? Solid Monster's a fucking goat, bro. You kidding me? It's him and me at the top. There's nobody that does it better. Vincent Moore with a $5 super chat. This was a boring Survivor Series. I hope they bring back the traditional series matches. The fans were trolling Triple H, chanting Edge, Edge, Edge. Rafael DeLuna, they should have been trolling him with something a lot worse than just Edge. Rafael DeLuna with the 2. Bring back brand supremacy at Survivor Series. It's called Crown Jewel. Furious Nation. Get this fucking guy out of my chat. I'm 4'6". Fuck out of here. Fucking run your ass over with my fucking dark horse. I'll show you how 4'6" I am, bitch. Fuck out of my chat. No, I'm not gonna play Arc Raiders tonight. I'll be on tomorrow. I gotta be up at 8:30 in the morning. I got a family thing. Yeah, but Y2J is gonna be back in WWE. He'll be in the Royal Rumble. Let me see this guy. Let me see this guy's channel activity. What has he said here? This guy's been joined for a year, and he calls me a 4'6" midget, and he got benched. I mean, it's crazy. Get him out. Goodbye. Rafael DeLuna, thank you. Furious, $4.99. Also wanted to say happy birthday to Andrew Baydala as well. And yes, War Games needs to go away for a year or two. Traditional 5-on-5 is the way. Fuck, I forgot to text the motherfucker. I don't even know it was his birthday, man. I try to stay off social media nowadays. I don't really care. Happy birthday to Drew. I didn't know it was his birthday. He's a good dude. Daniel to Miami. $9.99. This show was mediocre, but then again, people will gloat about how great WWE is in the big 2025, when the reality is wrestling as a whole for both WWE and AEW is horrendous. It is horrendous. This is the worst creative year since the year of the pandemic. Furious Nation with $4.99. Also, I'm sorry to tell you, JD, that one of my friend's dad has passed away yesterday at the age of 50 from pancreatic cancer. Bro, pancreatic cancer is a fucking absolute bitch, bro. My dad's mom passed away at the age of 54 from pancreatic cancer. Awful. An Italian stallion with a $7.99. Why is there aircon in the hospital to keep the vegetables cold and fresh? Stallion, thank you, brother. Guys, I am about to get out of here, man. Did you enjoy this stream? Did I stutter on anything that I said tonight? I don't think so. I think we had a damn good fucking discussion tonight, right? That's why we had 4,400 people in here or so. By my count. 42, 44, what was it? Anyway. We had a great night. Thank you guys very much. Oops. Wrong scene. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all the great content on the channel. We'll be back on Monday with the start of a brand new week. Monday on Raw. Tuesday Night Titans with the Monster on Tuesday. And Wednesday we'll be back with Jesse for the AEW Dynamite post. Thank you guys for the great support tonight. You killed it. We ended November on a high note, but not with Survivor Series. Thank you guys very much. Continue to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I will see you all back live Monday for what is hopefully a better show right here from Monday Night Raw. See you guys later.